Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Tonight from Farmers Union Insurance Field at Theraldson Sporting Complex on the campus of Central Cass Public Schools, it's North Dakota Division A AA football as the 4th-ranked Grand Forks Central Knights match up with the Central Cass Squirrels here on yourliveevent.com. A pleasant good fall Friday evening. I'm Chase Miller alongside Christian Bowen here, and welcome to our pregame show. Grand Forks Central saw their 6-game winning streak snapped at the hands of Kindred last week at Cushman Field with a 27-7 defeat at the hands of the Vikings. Senior running back in terms of Naz Fisher is averaging 8.65 yards per rush on the season for the Knights, with 804 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns on the ground this season. Well, for Central Cass, they earned a bounce-back 24-7 win at Fargo South last weekend. The Squirrels have 5 players with 15 or more receptions on the year, paced by Easton Holland and Blaze Cotton, who've combined for 9 receiving touchdowns this season. Still to come on our pregame show, we'll get to our starting lineups and the playoff positioning here in the state. But when we return, it's time to hear from the coaches. We'll hear from Coach Jake Schauer of Grand Forks Central, and alongside Tommy Butler around the corner. That is next. It's the Knights and the Squirrels in the lone Division AA East football contest here on yourliveevent.com. Also going on tonight, Devils Lake and Dickinson. That's tied at 7 after 1 quarter play. Back with more on the pregame show with our coaches conversation next here in Castleton. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
Join us now from the Grand Forks Central Knights perspective is the head coach, that is Jake Schauer. Here is the Knights tangle with the Central Cass Squirrels here this evening in Castleton. And Jake, for you, 2 games left in the regular season. Obviously a really good start to the year in the non-conference, then having a 2-1 mark so far here in East Region play. At this point in October, what's one trait or characteristic that best describes this year's version of Grand Forks Central Knights football?
You know, I really appreciate how hard this team works. You know, they're gritty. They're a team that, you know, we don't have that one guy that really makes us tick all the time. It's our senior group, and I would say they lead with physicality and grit and just toughness. You know, I really appreciate how they approach the game. They don't approach it in a way that they think it's going to be easy. They know how hard football is, and I feel like every Friday night they work for what they get.
Anytime you play a game under the lights, you learn something. Your last team, again, the Kindred Vikings last week out at Cushman. What did you learn from your team in that particular contest against the Vikings?
I think I learned a little bit more about our potential. You know, offensively, I didn't think we played very well. 3-4 turnovers, 2 in the first half, and we're only down 7-0 to a Kindred team that's really good, and we were getting the ball at half. So, you know, I feel like if we clean up those mistakes, even if you have half as many, you're even more in the game. And I got a lot of respect for Kindred, their coaches, their players. They are the real deal. I mean, when they walk on the field, they look different, they play different, they hit different. But I really thought our guys stood up to the test, and they hit them in the face, and they played good football, but just not good enough, And when you get to this time of year, when you're playing good teams like a Castleton, those mistakes will haunt you. So we need to clean up those mistakes and go from there.
Speaking of Central Cass, when you put the Squirrels on tape here, Jake, or what's something that you've seen that you're kind of circling as a potential matchup or a problem, so to speak, from a coach's perspective across the line, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams here on this Friday night?
Yeah, just another really balanced, well-coached football team that does a lot of things the right way. Their quick game, their screen game, their short passes, their running attack. They do a lot of things well. You can see they got 4 or 5 guys over there that are probably going to play on Saturdays someday, and they use those guys and put them in spots to succeed offensively, defensively. They really keep you guessing as a coordinator. So we just got to really be ready for anything on Friday night. And like I said, assignment sharp football, not making those same mistakes we did last week.
I know it's similar for the amount of teams that are in each respective regions here, Jake, but does it truthfully kind of feel that each region game is its own playoff game? I know coaches will say you take one game at a time, and understanding you're not looking ahead, you're not trying to have last week carry over to this week, but with just so many opportunities to place yourself in the playoffs, it's almost kind of feels like a postseason game every week. Is that fair to say from your perspective?
Oh, you're spot on with that, Chase. I think that's dead on, especially when they got rid of the QRF. It's like, okay, we almost have a preseason, because it's like you can go completely winless against those non-conference games, but if you win out, you're the 1 seed. So it's like you just have to approach every game like this is the one, And I like that we started out hot and we won the first 2, but it's kind of murderer's row here with Kindred, Castleton, Red River, 3 football teams that are really deep, really talented, and really just well coached, solid football teams. So
I know when you just probably put the stats out, maybe you take a look at the film. Obviously, someone with Nas Fisher stands out. I mean, for crying out loud, he's averaging 8.5 yards per rush, 11 touchdowns. That's going to get a lot of coaches and defense coordinators, antennas up a little bit there, Jake. So what just makes Nas, if no one has seen him in person, just be that kind of caliber of player where he can take one the distance or have those explosive plays on any given down?
yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. I've never seen a player improve in 4 years like Nas has. I mean, it's truly remarkable from his freshman year to his senior year, how far he's come as a person, how far he's come as a player and a leader. He's going to be a tough kid to replace next year, no doubt. I mean, really just appreciate everything that kid has done for the program, and he makes everyone better around him. But Naz will be the first one to say that he's not averaging 8 yards a carry without Anton Perales, Logan Voorhees, Carson Cutterba and Johnny Sherrick coming in and taking carries off. We knew from the beginning that Naz was kind of RB1. He's a stud, but if there's an RB1 slash, it's Anton Perales who can come in. He runs very different than Naz. Both of them run hard, but they're different builds. One of them's kind of just a little water bug out there. That's Anton. He's all over the field, and then Naz, he likes to hit you in the face. So really being able to keep him fresh here going into week 8 has been huge. Last year you could see we maybe put a little too much on his plate, and this year, those other guys stepping in and being able to take carries has really kept Naz fresh, and it kept his home run hitting ability alive. So really it's a full team effort here.
Final thing that I'll have for you here, and maybe you already hit on it, Jake, but from a X's and O's standpoint, is it defense? Is it something you have to do well offensively? What's an area that you must really excel at tonight to try to come on the road and pick up a victory and put yourself in a really good position heading into that Cushman Classic here next week?
Yeah, anytime you go on the road, I really think it starts with mentality. Can you do things to replicate what it's like playing at home? Everything needs to be as close as we can to our comfort zone. And then from there, I really think it starts with our defense. Our defense has played really good football this year. Last week against Kindred, our fits were great. They were in the right spot. This week is just that much harder with how much they do in the quick passing game. We need to be able to trigger quick. We need to be in the right spots. And when we get there, it's not a one-man tackling show. It's everyone, all 11 hats are there making a tackle, making a play, and then offensively limit turnovers. I think both quarterbacks had one last week. We just got to limit the turnovers and play the brand of football that we want to play and kind of try to dictate the tempo of this game.
Hey, Jake, thanks so much for your time and best of luck here this evening against the Squirrels.
Awesome. Thank you.
That again, Jake Schauer, head coach for Grand Forks Central. Continue with more on the pregame show after this here in Castleton.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a Bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a Bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
Give them the freedom to grow with the peace of mind of security and safety.
Let me do my thing. So get ready, get up, get ready, yeah.
America's Best Checking for students from Bell Bank makes it easy to let them do their thing.
It's what it's all about.
Visit www.bell.bank/student-checking to learn more. Or stop into a branch near you to open an account today.
Let me do my thing.
Bell Bank, member FDIC.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471. Join us from the Central Cass Squirrels perspective now, the head coach, that's Tommy Butler, head of the opening kickoff on a Friday night in the lone 2A football game here in the state of North Dakota as they welcome in Grand Forks Central here this evening. Tommy, let's recap Fargo South. Just what did you see from your team to come back on the road against a club that really had its back to the wall, right? They're trying to make the playoffs and everything last week as well with Fargo South. What did you able to see from your club to come away with that victory?
I mean, a huge win for us. You know, we went into that week saying that, this is basically a playoff game for us, that we knew that Fargo South is tremendously talented, has, I think, some of the best athletes in the state, honestly, and so for us to play as well as we did, I felt like we got to everything that we wanted. We took away their big explosive plays. We knew that Kessel was going to make some amazing free catches, and he did, and he's as good as advertised. But we didn't let that really kind of rattle us. Going into halftime, he makes that big catch towards the end of half there, and our guys, when we're meeting, they're almost laughing in a way of like not scared, but like, man, that kid's really good. Like, I hope I get another chance to go compete up with him on a jump ball. So to me, that's kind of showing the maturity of this group, is that they're, they like the challenge of playing really good teams, playing guys that are really, really good. And so for us to match that level of intensity offensively, again, kind of just taking what they gave us, we were able to move the ball steadily. We I think we still had over 350 yards of offense. Brody was able to distribute the ball, again, deep down the field, but also taking little things here and there when we could do it or when we could get there. And then, running game wise, again, wasn't as super as explosive, but again, South's a big physical team up front. So, they kind of gave some different looks that I thought was really good for us, that we had to continuously mix and match what we were doing. So again, it wasn't the amazing, 200-yard rush night, but it was enough to just continue to move the chains, continue to play, like make them play on their heels a little bit. But to me, it was more importantly that it was our defense that really kind of set that tone. I think we held them negative 20 yards rushing. Aiden Thummel had 7 tackles for loss in that game, which is the most I've seen in my 10 years of being here. So, just to see our defense really perform the way that they did was a huge sign for us.
You go up against Grand Forks Central here in a club that's awfully good as well. They got a tailback by the name of Inez Fisher here. You know, he's averaging about 8.5 yards per rush, an explosive guy. Tommy, when you put him on film, more than likely. But what stands out with the Coach Shower team here for Grand Forks Central rolling into town?
Yeah, Coach Shower's a great coach. You know, they're going to do what they do. That's their, to me, that's the number one thing I watch when I watch them play. That they are not going to do anything different because of what you do. They're going to make you adjust to what they do. And like you said, I mean, they have two running backs. Number 19, the one you were talking about, is big and physical and has really, really good speed especially for how big he is. But their other kid that comes in, number 28, is, I think, might be a more complete back. Runs really, really hard. Again, they're both really good. Obviously, again, 19 is just the bigger version of 28. But you know, and then they have, like, their old line is not huge, but they play really physical. They get on double teams hard. They have two really big tight ends that can play there, and then they have a you know, if you want to call them a wing back, a slot back, whatever you want to call them. Number 9, I think, is kind of the guy that kind of makes everything go. That, you know, he's able to down block really well. He can catch a vertical seam. So they just do a lot of different things that make you, again, if you're going to really pack the box, they've shown that they can hit seam balls on you. They can throw the ball deep down the field. I mean, their quarterback can throw it, you know, probably close to 60 yards if he needs to. You know, so it's not, yes, they are, quote, one-dimensional because they're going to run it. But, you know, if you think that you're just going to pack the box and that's it, I mean, that's how they beat South. South kind of stopped their run game a little bit. They hit them on a big reverse. And then they hit a couple other little shot plays on one of them was just a slant against zero coverage. And then another one was, you know, deeper down the field that they'll kind of push the ball. So, you know, for us defensively, again, we want to make them one-dimensional, but, you know, if you make them one-dimensional, you better be able to stop them if they're going to throw it. So we're excited for that matchup. And then defensively, they again, same kind of thing. They're going to play a 3-4. You know, they have their linebackers are huge. It's all those kids I just talked about that play running back, and you know, they're a bigger backer team. Their D-line, again, is not super huge, but they play really physical. And then they're going to keep everything in front of them. So, you know, for us, we can't get enamored with just taking shot plays down the field. We got to be okay with, you know, taking boring hitch routes, you know, taking the bubbles and being okay with marching the ball down the field that way. So to us, that's what our game plan is. But again, I know Coach Shower is going to have those guys prepared, and I wouldn't be shocked if maybe they did come out with something different.
Let's talk about some of the Hunters here. Two guys on the defensive line, both juniors with Domeyer and Hunter Rohr as well. Just kind of what have you seen from them so far on the season up front, and just kind of how their season has progressed throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, we have big expectations for them going into this year. I mean, they're two of the most athletic kids that I think we have. I would say two of the faster boys that we have on our team. You know, they're Hunter Rohr a little bit bigger, a little bit more physical of a guy, or Hunter Domeyer last year tears his labrum, has to have surgery, you know, comes back, has kind of rebuilt himself a little bit. And you know, Hunter Domeyer has been on some of our relay teams, on our, you know, 4x1 teams in his younger years. So again, both really, really fast, but have really tried to learn how to play the position of D-line. You know, Hunter Rohr, we move around a lot more than we do Domeyer, but Hunter Rohr is crazy explosive. And now Hunter Domeyer used to just be a speed guy only. And now he's really learning how to play with his hands. He's learning how to squeeze gaps. And to me, that has really made our D-line so much better, because they primarily just play defense. And so for them, it's kind of like what happened when we played in that year that we made a state championship game. Was, you know, we had Brandon Preston and Ryan Stafford and Anthony Houle that just played defense. So they were giving our defensive or our offensive line guys great looks all the time. And they just got better and better and better because that's all they did. They just played D-line. And to me, that's kind of what these two have done, is they've just continued to work on their craft. Again, that they don't just rely on their talent of being naturally explosive or naturally fast. Now they're learning how to play the position And so to me, it's really made our D-line depth really good. And I'm excited to, again, this will be a huge test for our guys, because if we run up the field and we do different things like that, they're going to absolutely gash us. And so to me, those guys, Wiersma, Jennings, Ben Nelson, those kind of guys, McCoy Ferguson, that depth that we're going to be able to play with, we're going to ask Aiden Wunderlich to play some D-line this week. It's all hands on deck to stop their big, powerful run game.
Final thing that I'll bring up, Tommy, obviously anywhere you can go in the postseason right now, when you take a look at it today with how many teams have a chance for first, fourth, in between, and so forth. But senior night here, just what's a word or two that kind of comes to mind that best describes seniors? Obviously, like to have a chance to play on home turf one more time at least here, especially that means you're hosting a playoff game on top of that. But what does it mean for this group of guys to have their regular season finale on this particular field turf, and what this senior class means to this program?
Yeah, I mean, legacy, that's the word that I'm just thinking of as you're talking there, right? It's just the legacy that they've set, the legacy that they've continued to build on with the groups in front of them. I mean, that's the program that we're trying to build all the time. Is, we started this, 6 years ago when I was 7 years ago, with guys like Christian Leitz and Jeremiah Sullivan that, really kind of those big integral guys that we knew, and we weren't going to be very good that year, but we were going to start with, essentially year zero of, what are we going to be built on? We're going to be built on being a physical team that was going to give high effort and unbelievable attitude and inside of our program, and then also inside the school. And we've just continued to build that over and over and over again. And to me, this group is no different. They bought into everything that we've asked them to do. We've had a lot of changes. We've had a lot of guys in and out of lineups this year. We've had to mold and shift our defense constantly throughout the year, just trying to find out what makes our kids play better and getting them in positions to play their best. And this group has never wavered. And, we see that every game that we've played in this year has been outside of probably a couple where it's been kind of, it's been tight ball games. And this group, again, they never flinch, they never waver, they continue to just stay the course. Even in our couple losses, there was never pouting behavior. There was never, woe's me. There's never finger pointing. There's none of that. And so to me, that's the type of team that we want to build here. And to me, when we do that, that always gives us a chance. I think we're a tough out as we continue to go throughout, hopefully, this long playoff stretch. But to us right now, we're in the playoffs. Like, these are playoff teams that you're playing. These are going to be some of the best that you're going to play. So, why not continue to just stay on that grind, to stay on that track? And I know these guys are excited for whoever we're going to be playing in the playoffs. But more importantly, is taking care of this game right now. Again, a team that's built in tradition, a team that's been to a state championship game like we have. They were in there the year after we were there. And a team that's on the rise, right? Like they were one-win team. Now they're right back to where they believe they should be. I'm sure that they think that they can beat us. And so we're going into this game with a mindset of, again, we are, when you come and you play at Central Cass football, we play for big games like this. This is what we're built for. We're built for long runs like this. And so we're excited to take on a really, really good team, but we're pumped to get after these guys tonight and hopefully send our seniors out on the right note.
Hey, Tommy, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck here this evening.
I appreciate it, man. Go Squirrels.
Tommy Butler, head coach for the Central Cass Squirrels. We'll continue with more after this on the Pregame in Castleton.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
As we come back here on Senior Night on YourLiveEvent.com, that does it for our pregame show. It's the 4th-ranked Grand Forks Central Knights at 6-1 on the season, going up against the 5-2 Central Cass Squirrels. A win doesn't clinch you anything in terms of a hard seed line tonight, but it helps going into the regular season finale next week, where Central Cass will go to Kindred, while Grand Forks Central will have the Cushman Classic with Grand Forks Red River. We'll talk about the playoff scenarios throughout the broadcast. Also keep you apprised of what's happening with that Dickinson Devils Lake game out west as well. Again, it's the Squirrels and the Knights here tonight for AA football on YourLiveEvent.com. Starting lineups and the opening kick is next in Castleton.
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal. It's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
As we get you ready here for the starting lineups for the Grand Forks Central Knights and alongside the Central Cass Squirrels. Grand Forks Central, they will be playing defense first after Central Cass won the coin toss and elected to receive, as Grand Forks Central will be going like this here defensively tonight. The Knights giving up 19 points per game, 239 yards of total offense for Grand Forks Central. And a defensive end spot is going to be Nolan Marshall, the senior at 6'1". Also from there, you have the nose guard in Eli Fisher, as Eli Fisher with 14 tackles and 1 sack, and then Brody Melikar, the senior, with 1 sack on the season. Linebackers here, they fly around. Eli Thompson, a 6'2" senior with 2 interceptions, 4 sacks on the year. Johnny Sherrick with 3 tackles for losses and 34 tackles. Mr. Fisher, we'll talk about him offensively, but defensively with a team leading 46 tackles on the season here for Naz Fisher. Then you have Mr. Feldman, the junior, with 41 tackles on the season. In the secondary, Trey Clausen with 15 tackles for the 5'9" senior. Also a defensive back in Brooklyn Bruce, a senior at 6 foot with 2 interceptions. Tyson Vanyo, a strong safety with 4 picks on the year, and Noah Lease, a free safety here for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Grand Forks Central head coach in his 4th year at the helm is Jake Schauer. Now we go for the Central Cass Squirrels. Central Cass averaging 29 points per game with 373 yards of total offense. As we'll go like this for Central Cass. Evan Wiersma, the 6'3" senior left tackle. Wiersma, a future MSUM Dragon, coming up next fall. Ben Nelson, a sophomore at 6'10" for the guard spot, with Jennings Cooney Cooney, a 5'9 senior center at 240 pounds here on senior night for the Squirrels. Trevin Quam, another senior at 6'2", 190 at the right tackle spot. And then Aiden Wunderlich, the future University of North Dakota Fighting Hawk. He will be foregoing half of his senior year after it wraps up for their semester in January. He will be going to Grand Forks for Wunderlich to get on the campus of UND for football. Wide receiver Kellen Cruchet, a 5'8", 140 pounds here, and that is going to be for the freshman in Kellen Cruchet. Easton Holland, the 6'4 junior, with 185 pounds, 4 receiving touchdowns on the season. Mason Olson, a 6'1 senior with 9 receptions on the year. And Blaze Cotton, another 6'1 sophomore wide receiver with 5 receiving touchdowns. Colton Cruchet heading to Montana Tech, going to be an ore digger here for the future Montana Tech product. Colton Cruchet, the senior, with 185 pounds, and he has 10 touchdowns combined receiving and rushing this year. Then Brody Cagley, the 6' junior, at 165. The Squirrels head coach Tommy Butler in his 7th season at the helm. It's the 5-2 Squirrels and the 6-1 Knights. Opening kickoff is next here in Castleton.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
On a football Friday, kind of a weather night here. Temperatures in the upper 50s throughout the course of the game. From the right to left here in Castleton, that's the south on the right-handed side, the north on the left-handed side. Thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast here this evening for high school football on yourliveevent.com. Christian Bowen running the camera. Chase Miller with you here in Castleton as we get ready for our second-to-last regular season game here of the season for both the Squirrels and the Grand Forks Central Knights. Grand Forks Central can help Kindred clinch the 1 seed with the win here this evening. If they lose, Central Cass will have a winner-take-all game with Kindred next week in Kindred on yourliveevent.com to be the number 1 seed in the East. We'll get to more of those playoff potentials throughout the course of the evening. Opening kickoff here on a Friday night at 7:02. And we get underway. Let's put the ball on the tee here for Grand Forks Central. Is going to be Rylan Dobrovolny. As Dobrovolny will put this one on tee. Right-footed kick goes end over end. That'll go all the way to the 5. Takes a bounce inside the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Central Cass Squirrels will start with the football here at the 20-yard line. As for the Central Cass Squirrels, taking a look at Brody Cagley and what he's been able to do so far this season. There's Cagley with 1,600 yards passing, 1,688, 17 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions so far here receiving. As Central Cass will come out here with the football, as they will have a shotgun formation. Trips to the near sideline, twins still left. Cagley in the gun quickly to the outside as that one goes to Cruchet. Cruchet gets to 25 and tiptoes the far sideline for a nice gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards on the play, as that will be right off the bat here for Cruchet. That will be a gain of 6. Second down upcoming on the way, and 4 here for the Squirrels. 2 wide receivers split up both left and right, and you'll see mainly in the pistol or in the gun here tonight for Central Cass, as Cagley will come out here in that pistol for the junior. Cagley handing this one off. This one bouncing to the near side is Cruchet. He gets wrapped up, and the whistle never came. He was on top of the Grand Forks Central Knight defender. His knee never touched the ground. The whistle never blew, and he takes the first down. Eli Thompson was there to try to wrap him up, but it's a gain of 6 yards here for Cruchet. As we'll see it now here, first down and 10, 2 wide receivers either side. The old adage, play till the whistle. That's exactly what Colton was able to do there and gets the first down. Otherwise, it would have been 3rd and 4. Grand Forks Central, they'll bring 3. They will flip it out to the outside. There's Kellen Cruchet, and Cruchet gets his way to about the 39-yard line for a gain of 8. Something that Coach Butler mentioned in the pregame show, Central Cass against this Grand Forks Central defense will have to be content with these 5-6 yards per pop and allow Brody to get the ball out quickly. And both Jake Schauer mentioned the linebackers fly around here, and that caught Tommy Butler's eye, as well as the 4 linebackers make a ton of tackles here throughout this season. Handoff in the middle, Cruchet. Cruchet trying to bend his way, gets the first down. Eli Fisher will wrap him up on the tackle, but not before Cruchet gets a gain of 5. 2 carries on the way for 11 yards. Kangley 2 for 2 for 14 yards. And on that Bank North scoreboard, it's a second first down of the possession here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So far, 4 plays on the drive with gains of 6, 5, 6, and 8 yards offensively here for Central Cass. The Squirrels averaging 131 yards rushing per game. While through the air, it's 242. And Central Cass will look to get the ball out quickly, then take their shot plays down the field throughout the night. If you're Central, try to keep everything in front of you and see if you can get a quick, big defensive tackle for loss when it presents itself. Cruchet will jitterbug his way inside of the 50, now to the 49-yard line. Trey Clausen, part of the tackling party there for the Knights, but not before Cruchet. Very patient in the hole, able to make his way for 6 yards. Second down upcoming for Central Cass. A quick sugar no huddle. First play in Grand Forks Central territory here for the Squirrels. This drive started back at their own 20-yard line 2.5 minutes ago. Grand Forks Central being consistent, bringing 3. This will go to Holland to the near sideline. Holland to the 45, and Holland gets thrown out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Thompson was there, but another gain of 6, 7 to 8 yards here consistently for Central Cass. Holland with his first reception of the game has 28 receptions now here on the season for 373 yards of offense. First down and 10, Squirrels here again. They won the coin toss and elected to receive to start this game. Trips to the left-handed side as you see one to the near sideline on the tight end spot. Handoff, that one will go to the outside here for Central Cass, and bouncing his way back to the original line of scrimmage there is on the way Zane Blix, as Blix was able to get back to the line, and good pursuit from a Grand Forks Central point of view. It's the first time it's a 2nd and long here for Central Cass offensively. Ball at the 43-yard line between the hashes for the Squirrels in their red tops, their black pants. Grand Forks Central in their traditional maroon pants, maroon helmet with the white tops and the GFC logo on one side of the helmet. Little bubble screen that'll go to the outside to Cruchet. Cruchet, look at him go! Oh, man, Kellen Cruchet go from 1st to 4th gear quickly, and it's going to depend on the spot, and that's enough for a first down. It's a gain of 11. Kellen Cruchet, 2 receptions now for 19 yards. And the 5'8 freshman, like a 50-meter indoor dash, just out of the gates quickly here for Central Cass. This will be first down and 10, Squirrels ball at the 33-yard line. Brody Kegley, the 6-foot junior. Another quick screen, that'll go to Holland. Holland gets to the boundary, and a good open field tackle on the way by Mr. Eli Thompson in space, but not before it's a gain of 5, maybe 6 yards. That'll be a gain of 6 on the way. 5 for 5 here for Kegley to open things up. Holland now 2 receptions for 12 yards. As we see it here for Central Cass. Tripp still left, one to the near sideline. Grand Forks Central being consistent with that 2 safeties over the top, giving some space on these bubble screens. Right now the Knights showing some pressure. They will bring 4. Here's a bubble to the outside that'll one-hop the turf and bring up a second down. I haven't seen Grand Forks Central bring a lot of pressure. They brought the backer there in Fisher to try to disrupt the offense a little bit. As it'll be a third down on the way. Compared to last night, the wind not as much of a factor, but Central Cass would be kicking into the wind here when you're going to the south end of the field here in Castleton. Already 4 minutes off the clock on the Bank North scoreboard. Third down, the first one here for Central Cass of the night. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right-handed side as the Squirrels need the Knights' 22-yard line. Bubble to the outside. They're able to get north to south quickly. They need the 22, and it looks like they'll give them the 21. That's a gain of 5. able to go to the far sideline here, as this one will be a catch on the way. Blaze Cotton will come up with it. As Cotton able to get that one for the first down on the way to the 21-yard line. Well, early on, you're getting the ball out quickly, letting your playmakers get in space. So what will be the adjustment from Grand Forks Central throughout the course of this game will be the question. First down and 10, Central saying we'll give you the 5-6 yards at this time. Now what can you do inside the red zone? Handoff, there's a little bit of crease near sideline, goes Cruchet. Cruchet with a stiff arm to the 15, and he gets thrown out of bounds. Good pursuit upcoming there by Clausen to at least force him out of bounds. If Clausen doesn't at least try to bump him a little bit, Cruchet could get inside the 15 and possibly closer to a first down. Instead, it's a gain of nearly 5 yards. We see it here. 2 wide receivers again, left and right. Kegley got the ball out quick. So far tonight, trying to do it yet again to the outside. There goes Cotton. Cotton able to get to the 12-yard line. Looks to be about a half yard shy of the first down there for Blaze. As you'll see it, third down upcoming, 3rd and a long one here for Central Cass, and a drive that's amassed 5 minutes so far here on the Bank North scoreboard. Opening drive of the game. Jason Christian with you here on a Friday night in Castleton. 1 wide receiver near sideline, twins to left as Kegley in that pistol. Kegley hands it off to Cruchet. Cruchet trying to go through the teeth of the Knights. That's going to be tight depending on the spot. Needs the 11. This looks to be 4th down. They get about a half yard on the play. 4th and short upcoming. So here's the old bend but don't break, as we'll see it here. As will be 4th down and short upcoming for Grand Forks Central's defense. Squirrels need a half yard, as they will come out here with a little look with Cruchet to the right-handed side here of Kegley. Hand off, Cruchet. Cruchet gets the first down and some. Cruchet into the end zone. Touchdown, Central Cass. On a 4th and 1, Cruchet hits pay dirt from 12 yards out, and the Squirrels strike first on the Bank North scoreboard. 6 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown for Cruchet. That's his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. And Central Cass, with 6:05 left to play here in the opening quarter, take an early 6-0 lead. Made a man miss, got a little bit of an alley, as Bukau will come on for the point after attempt. It's end over end, and that puppy is good. New score on the Bank North scoreboard. Squirrels up by 7. Knights with the ball when returned.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartments. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
As we'll have a 15-play drive that goes 5 minutes and 55 seconds, 80 yards down the field for the Central Cass Squirrels. Now, we're going to see good on good here. Grand Forks Central likes to run it right down your throat, while for Central Cass, they give up only 87 yards rushing, while the Knights, they average 237 yards on the ground per contest. So we'll see what we get here with the kickoff at the 40-yard line. Central Cass 7, the Grand Forks Central Knights will have the football for the first time here this evening. But first things first, let's get to kickoff. Bukau coming on here to put this one on the team. As checked that here for Central Cass. This one will be Hayden Filady. Filady, the senior, coming on here on senior night to put this one on the tee. So pardon me. Here's the right-footed kick. This will be a nice line drive kick. That'll bounce at the 17, take a Grand Forks Central hop to the 20 to the outside. The Knights get to the 26, and Grand Forks Central there by Mr. Murphy, the junior, will get it to about the 26-yard line for the first down on the way here for Grand Forks Central. So we'll see what the Knights can do here on this one, as Grand Forks Central will come on here for their first opportunity of the game. As for Grand Forks Central, we'll get to their offense here with Ryder McNally, the center, Sawyer Harlow, the left guard, with Eli Fisher, right guard, Malacker Brody at right tackle, and Nolan Marshall at the left tackle spot. Noah Lease, the senior quarterback here at 5'11" and 175 pounds, as this will be a handoff to Fisher. Fisher's a load, and Fisher gets a big first down, averages 8.5 yards per pop per carry, and so far gets 13 yards there on one play. So for Fisher, 94 carries now on the season, and over 800 yards, and we'll have a first down here for Grand Forks Central, running behind Fisher and alongside Brody on that right tackle spot. Eli Thompson, the tight end, with the wide receivers of Martin and Brooklyn Bruce. Vano as well. We're going to see Anton Perales here in the backfield throughout the course of the season, or throughout the course of the night, as Eli Thompson. Tommy Butler said number 9 makes them go. He does everything here for the Knights. Going to the outside here again, Grand Forks Central with another nice stick here to the boundary, and they're going to get another first down to the outside. Able to see that here for Grand Forks Central with a couple of runs so far, and back-to-back have been first downs on the play. As yet again, there goes Fisher to the 50-yard line. So far, 24 yards rushing here for Fisher. Ball will be spotted at the 50-yard line on the way for the Knights here in the pistol for Grand Forks Central. Handoff Fisher. Fisher trying to get a crease, and Fisher's going to get stuck. Fisher going to get met at the line for his first tackle that goes right back to scrimmage, and we're going to get a couple of flags after the play. Evan Wiersma was there defensively. Flags came out after the play was done, so this will be afterwards, and personal foul on who, or will it be per respective penalties that might be offsetting? We'll find out here. First for the White Hat and Mike Kraus to come on. We'll see a personal foul penalty as they'll mark it at the 50-yard line and go from there, as they're going to try to double check of where the line was on the run there from Fisher. And it will be on Grand Forks Central, and that'll move the Knights back. So this will be taunting after the play. So Grand Forks Central, also that'll be a tough one. It's 15 yards, and now make it first and country mile upcoming here for the Knights. And so we'll see it now as second down on the way. So for Grand Forks Central, second down and 25, they will need the Squirrels' 40-yard line here for the first. Handoff. This one will go to Perales. As Perales makes his way, cuts inside past the 40 to about the 43-yard line. He gets 8 yards back, but it's still third down and long. Not a bad run, though, on the way there for Perales. 63 carries on the season, nearing the 300 mark here, as it'll be first down on the way. As we'll see it here now, third down upcoming for Grand Forks Central, as they will need the Squirrels' 40-yard line for the first. So for the Knights here, a team that averages 116 yards passing on the season. Squirrels defensively, Hunter Rohr at the defensive end spot with Trevin Quam. You see defensive line also of Evan Wiersma and Hunter Domeyer. Linebackers of Cruchet, Thummel, and Mueller, and defensive backs of Link, Holland, Olson, and Wick. So we'll take a quick break. Time out on the floor, brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
Time out, brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual. Get in touch with Cass County Mutual to find an agent and a policy holder for you and your local service providing to all of southeastern North Dakota. Visit CassCountyMutual.com. Again, that is CassCountyMutual.com. Grand Forks Central, third down and long upcoming for the Knights. So here's what happens if Central Cass wins this evening. They will have a chance to be the number 1 seed if they can beat Kindred. If Grand Forks Central wins, Kindred is automatically the number 1 seed, and the Knights then, if they beat Red River, would end up being the number 2 seed if they can beat the Squirrels and the Rough Riders coming up next week. As we'll see it here in the pistol formation, Noah Lease. Lease will handle it. Lease, play action. Lease steps up, fires, throws, open, going to be incomplete. Vaniel was the intended receiver. Mr. Brooklyn Bruce was the intended receiver. If he makes that catch, he's 5 yards short of the first, but had some real estate in front of him to try to work with. So for the Squirrels defense, looking to get off the field here as they will spot the ball back at the 43-yard line. So that 15-yard penalty, a killer from the Grand Forks Central perspective, as they will come on and look to punt this football away. Brooklyn Bruce back at his 30-yard line here. The Squirrels with two returners back at their own respective 15-yard line. Punting a little bit with the wind here is Bruce. Clean snap, right-footed kick. This one goes end over end. We'll take a bounce at the 21 and take a night bounce inside the 10 to the 5. That one keeps rolling towards the end zone. Be a punt to 57, a net to 37, and the Squirrels will have it first down and 10 upcoming. For Central Cass, we'll see it here at the 20-yard line on the way with 4:05 left to play here in this first quarter. If you're just joining us, a Crochet 12-yard rushing touchdown on a 4th down and 1. The difference so far on the Bank North scoreboard on their opening possession of the game. Talking with coaches in both AA and AAA this year, just because you have 6 teams in your region, it feels like every region game is a respective playoff contest, knowing what a win or a loss does throughout the course of the year. Handoff, this one goes inside the tackles to about the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the way. That is Crochet. So Crochet able to make his way for 5 yards. 7 carries so far for 39 yards here for Crochet. First drive of the game, 15 plays, 80 yards down the field for the Squirrels. Central Cass will come out, trips to the near sideline. Pistol formation. Grand Forks Central now putting 5 guys at the line. No safeties over the top. Miscommunication. Crochet somehow got it on the shovel pass. It will be a loss, however, of 4 yards. Kegley went one way, Crochet went the other. Somehow Kegley on the shovel got it to Crochet. It still will be a loss on the play, and 3rd down and about 8 on the way. Fortunate, if you're a Central Cass fan, that at least that it went into the breadbasket, if you will, of Crochet, and not a breadbasket of a Grand Forks Central Knight defender here. 3 minutes left to play in the quarter. The Knights trying to get a quick 3 and out, get the ball back offensively. Squirrels with a 3rd down. Motion man goes Cotton right to left across the formation. Kegley in the gun, has some time, steps up, throws to the near sideline, caught. It's going to be on the spot. Looks to be a half-yard shy as that was caught by Holland. So 7 yards on the way. Easton Holland with his 3rd catch of the night for 19 yards. Another yard he'd get there. Instead, this one will make its way for a 4th down and 1. So 4th down and a long yard here for Central Cass. As the Squirrels trying to see if they can get the Knights to hard count here. There's 10 seconds left on the play clock. Already seen Grand Forks Central burn 1 timeout. Might Central Cass go for it? Yes, they will. Crochet on the keeper. Crochet barrels his way to the 35, and he gets the first on the Wildcat. 6-yard gain on the play for Crochet. Might lull the defense asleep a little bit. You fake the hard count, if you will. And then all of a sudden, boom, here it comes. And a big 4th down. So far, 2 for 2 on 4th downs for the Squirrels. 1 going to the distance for 12 yards. And this one going for 6 here for Central Cass. So 1st down and 10 for the Squirrels at their own 35-yard line after a 4th and 1 was converted here for Central Cass. Grand Forks Central rolling with 2 high safeties this time. This will be a jet on the handoff. Goes to Holland. Holland looks to pick up a block by Crochet. Gets one. Holland gets a 1st down, and he gets taken out of bounds on the far sideline by Noah Lease. But not before the Squirrels able to move the chains. That's a gain of 13 on the rush. You can hear coaches talk about setting the boundary, and they were able to set the boundary behind Evan Wiersma, Ben Nelson. You get to the outside on the way for Crochet, the wide receivers, and just a nice steady play here for Central Cass. 1st down on the way for the Squirrels. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line. Central Cass started this drive again at the 20. Handoff, Crochet looking. Crochet able to get past the 50 to about the 51, looking for that hole to open up a little bit. Nice interior play here by Feldman to come up with the tackle, but not before it's a 3-yard gain here for Crochet. 9 carries for 48 yards here for Central Cass. They've already had 11 rushes in this game and 10 passing attempts. Kangley 9 of 10 through the air for 51 yards on the evening. See if the Knights bring some pressure here. Got 4 men at the line. They will bring 4. Handoff. This one to Blix, and Blix gets a nice solid gain. He'll take 3-4 yards every rush he can get it, as that'll go to the 46-yard line. Blix with his second carry of the quarter. As you'll have at least one more, maybe 2 more plays here before this first quarter comes to a close. Knights coming off a loss against Kindred. The Squirrels coming off a win against the Bruins last week at Fargo South. 3rd down on the way for Central Cass. It's a long 3. Quickly to the near side as this is going to be caught. Making his way to about the 46-yard line. Not going to go anywhere there for the Squirrels to Gavin Tope. Tope actually going to lose maybe a half yard on the play. As Tope was trying to get to the edge, and now it will be another 4th down. And play clock and game clock, the Squirrels can take this one to the second quarter. On our Bank North scoreboard after 1 quarter play, it's Central Cass 7, Grand Forks Central scoreless. With the football here, we'll see what the Squirrels do around the corner on a 4th down and a long 4 when we return.
Hi, we're Tommy's Express. Scan the QR code for a fast pass to a free month of washing. Our modern car wash offers a bright, open environment and a low-stress conveyor belt entry. Our signature scent, ceramic body wax, spot-free rinse, and heated blowers give you the best shine in town. Check out the wash for yourself. Washing your car is easy, fast, and fun. Visit Tommy's Express today.
Catch all the action of the fall postseason for Minnesota and North Dakota high school football and volleyball on yourliveevent.com.
Going down the field, it's picked off here from Kindred. Tannen Johnson to the 30, to the 25. Johnson, could he go? Yes, sir! A 45-yard pick six for
Takes it up, played high in the air by Horkin. Here's risky left side off of a touch. Kept alive Thornton. Now played high. Angle. Severson. Smash! Count! Good!
Check out the postseason schedule on yourliveevent.com.
On the Bank North scoreboard, they've been a trusted financial partner for generations. See what values-based banking can do for you at banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Central Cass 7, the Grand Forks Central Squirrels 7, Grand Forks Central scoreless. That is, Central Cass leads it here by a touchdown and an extra point. Chase Miller alongside Christian Bowen with you here. Well, Central Cass has gone for it on 4th down twice so far this evening. Will they go for it one more time is going to be the question here, as they'll handle it. 4th down on the far sideline. It looks like they will at least attempt to go for it. You had it 4th and about a yard and a 4th and a yard. This is a little different. 4th and 4 here. Trying to see if they can get him to jump across. They got the nose guard to flinch across, but nobody on the offensive line moved or hit him to force the penalty. So they had it on the first time. This will be on a reverse, trying to get to the near sideline. Makes a man miss. Here goes the Central Cass Squirrels. Mason Olson to the 20. Olson to the 10. Olson, can he go? He's down at the 2, maybe the 1. Olson goes 45 yards on the reversal. Olson on the play. And so far it's been the 4th down variety here for Central Cass. Olson made a man miss as it was able to get its way through, and then all of a sudden able to get that 1st down and some, and made another man miss at the 20. Well, for Grand Forks Central, Feldman coming out of the game here, and Central Cass is knocking on the door as we'll have a quick timeout with again, Grand Forks Central. Feldman was getting helped by the trainers here for the Grand Forks Central Knights to come off on the sideline. Quickly, the Squirrels get to line Cruchet in this Wildcat. Cruchet will take it, going right-handed side, and he's in for another rushing touchdown. It's Central Cass 13, Grand Forks Central scoreless. Cruchet, 10 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown. Make that 2 TDs now for Central Cass. 11:39 left to go here in the second quarter, and the Squirrels, 2 possessions, 2 scores as coming on here for Central Cass. Bukow with the point after attempt, but they will go for the 2-point conversion. It looks like now, or at least set up for a 2-point conversion. 2 wide receivers, right, 1 to the near sideline. Play clock gets to 10. Kegley with it. Play action, rolling right-handed side. Kegley on this 2-point, staying alive. Kegley throws across, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion to Mason Olson for 2. 15 love for Central Cass. Kegley able to buy some time, find Olson for the 2-point conversion. On the Big North scoreboard, Castleton leads by 15.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
A 10-play drive that goes 4 minutes and 26 seconds, capped off by a rushing touchdown by Cruchet. That'll be his second rushing touchdown of the game. You get the 2-point conversion as well, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're up 15-0 here from a Central Cass perspective. Grand Forks Central, all of a sudden, they get the ball to start the second half of play again, but this kind of feels like a need-it kind of a drive at least. Try to see if you can put some points on the board, or bare minimum have a way to get a sustained offensive drive. Ball's on the tee. This is a squibber. That'll take its way to the 23-yard line, picked up there from Grand Forks Central. Grand Forks Central to the outside, and the Knights get to the 40-yard line. Really good return from Grand Forks Central. John Strerick, the junior, able to make his way close to about the 40-yard line, and that's where Grand Forks Central will start with the football. Knights punted on their first drive. What can they do here for their second? As the ball will be spotted at the 44-yard line. So Grand Forks Central will come out here for their second possession with head coach Jake Schauer. Schauer at Park River, Area Thompson, 4th year at the helm now here for the Grand Forks Central Knights. As we see it now for Grand Forks Central. Noah Lease, the senior, in that pistol formation with 6 seconds here on the play clock. Central Cass 4 down linemen. We'll see if they bring some pressure. 2-1. They get the playoff. Handoff goes to Fisher. Fisher trying to get to the edge, and Fisher's going to get wrapped up. Tommy Butler said we got to keep this guy Fisher going, avoid him going north to south, keep him going east to west, and Evan Wiersma was able to set the edge immediately. Good tackle on the way then by Keaton Link as well. That'll be about a half yard for a loss as they're able to get back to nearly the 46-yard line. Fisher, 2 carries of 0 yards and 2 carries of 13 and 11 yards. As you'll see it, 1 wide receiver near sideline. That's going to be Zane Martin. 1 to the left-handed side here as well for the Knights. Squirrels right now trying to fly the ball defensively. Lease back in that pistol. Handoff will go to Fisher. Fisher bouncing his way. Fisher breaks a tackle to the 50, keeps going 45, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And then this will be thrown down to the ground, and there's going to be a late hit on the play. So Fisher was making his way to the 39. That's going to be a gain of a healthy play of 17 yards by Fisher. The whistle never came out. Then a handful of Squirrels came in on the tackle, but by the time they did, Fisher was already making his way out of bounds, and that'll be an extra 15 yards on the play. 43 yards here for Fisher. Off for Central Cass. It'll be their first penalty of the game for 15 yards. Both teams with a 15-yard penalty here, so tack it on and move it a little bit closer to the south end zone here in Castleton. Desperately needed, though, from Grand Forks Central. Get a first down, get a chunk play, and then you add that with a 15-yard penalty, and now the Knights are in business here, trying to see if they can make this a one-possession game in quarter number 2. 6-1 Grand Forks Central, the 4th-ranked Knights, going up against the 5-2 Squirrels, who are receiving votes here on the season. A bunch to the near sideline for Grand Forks Central. Lease back in that pistol. surveys the defense with Fisher in the backfield. Grand Forks Central fire throw. This one going to be caught. On the outside goes Bruce, and Bruce gets to the 15. Bruce gets to the outside. Parker Wixo on the tackle, but not before it's a gain of 9 on the play. Bruce with the reception. That's his 22nd reception of the season for now 364 yards, and he has 4 touchdowns as well. Grand Forks Central, second down and a short half a yard. One wide receiver split up both either side. Grand Forks Central. Motion man goes Thompson left to right across the formation. Handoff to Fisher. Fisher gets the 10. Fisher bulldozing his way to about the 8-yard line. And Fisher able to get a gain of 7 on the play. 6 carries now for 50 yards here for Fisher. First and goal upcoming for Grand Forks Central. I'll be spotted at the 9-yard line here for the Knights. High school football tonight on yourliveevent.com. Stay tuned to our halftime show, brought to you in part by Farmers Union Wasling Kramer Agency. Take a look at your on-town scoreboard, first half stats, that and more here this evening. As we'll see it again for Noah Lease. Lease, handoff, will keep it on the play action. Lease will roll. Lease looking to throw to the 5, and this will be caught on the outside by Thompson, and Thompson gets his way to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play. Taking that one out of the belly, there was Lease out of Paralis. Went to the far sideline and able to get 6 yards on the pitch and catch. So Thompson with the reception makes it second and goal at the 3 for the Knights. Clock stops going out of bounds at 9:04 here in quarter number 2. Grand Forks Central, 2 timeouts remaining. Central Cass with all 3 here in the half as Paralis with 3 rushing touchdowns on the season in the backfield. Lease will hand this one off to Paralis. Paralis trying to weave his way into the end zone. He's down at the half-yard line. It's a gain of about 2 3/4 yards on the play. As Paralis with his second rush of the night, but it's about the nose of the football of what they need to get across that goal line. As coming in here will be the 5'10", 201-pound senior in Fisher. Squirrels fans on their feet. The Knights looking for about a football length here to get in the end zone for the first time tonight. Twins left-handed side, they go under center. The 5'11" senior Lease under the gun. Handoff, Fisher. Fisher bulldozes his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Grand Forks Central. Fisher with his 12th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Knights are on the board as they trail it here by 9. 7 carries for 51 yards for Fisher. As we see Grand Forks Central will come out for the potential 2-point conversion. Right now it's a swinging gate here on the way as Noah Lease, the quarterback, will be at the 10-yard line, and they will come out now for the point after attempt. DeBrovelny will come on here. Ryland for the PAT. This to make it a 1-score game here for Grand Forks Central. High snap, but Lease puts the ball down. Right-footed kick, splits the uprights, and we do have a 1-point affair. Our 1-score affair, that is. 8:19 left to play in the opening half. Central Cass 15-7.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
On the drive here for Grand Forks Central, 7 plays, as you're able to see 3 minutes and 13 seconds come off the clock, and it's a touchdown as well, and a drive that goes 56 yards on the way here for Grand Forks Central. So the Knights will put this ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. And Grand Forks Central gets the ball to start the second half of play as well after the Squirrels elected to receive, and it's worked so far for Central Cass. Got up with the lead early and able to put 7 points up in the first quarter, 8 so far in the second. Knights with 7 here in the first. Rowland end-over-end high pooch. That'll go to the 18-yard line. Picked up here from the Squirrels to about the 30 on the way for Central Cass. Blix with a nice return, and that's where the Squirrels will have their third possession of the contest. Able to see it here for Central Cass with 8:16 left in this first half of play. As ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line here, as Central Cass will come out, as this will make its way with trips to the right-handed side, as we see the pistol formation again here for Kegley. As Kegley will see Cruchet in the backfield with him. Cruchet gets the handoff. Cruchet going to get stuck at about the 34, able to put the pile with him for an extra yard or two. Immediately was Sherrick there to make the stick, but Cruchet falls forward for the extra yard. It's a gain of 4. 11 carries here for 53 yards for Cruchet, brings up second down and 6. As you see, trips to the right-handed side. Tight end to the near sideline now. Here is Carver Kozowski with it. Kegley looking down the field. Kegley steps up, fires. This one is going to be incomplete. Nearly a pick as well, as it goes off the intended receiver's hands here for Central Cass, as that was Blaze Cotton. Kegley looking, and then firing a dart, but it was incomplete into some traffic, and now brings up a third down and 6. Stops the clock with 7:39 left to play here in this first half of play. Central Cass with losses on this home field against Devils Lake and Red River by combined 9 points. Want to send the seniors off right here on senior night for their final regular season game for Grand Forks Central, just like the Squirrels. Both teams are playing for at least one home playoff game here this season. Quick little hitch route that'll go right to the 40. A nice catch, but a better stick on the outside. Brooklyn Bruce delivers the goods defensively, but not before it goes to the 40-yard line. And a catch here from Central Cass by Cash Lorenz. Lorenz for 6. He's going to wear it, but Lorenz able to make the catch here for Central Cass. You needed 6. You got to the line. Able to get it there for Cash. First down and 10 for the Squirrels, as the Knights are looking for a quick 3-and-out. Instead, they'll have to have another set of downs here, as Kegley, the 6-foot junior, hands this one off to Cruchet. Cruchet has a lane to the 45, and the Cruchet gets to the 47-yard line. 12 carries for 60 yards on the way for Cruchet. I'm going to move a couple of linemen here for the Squirrels, polling and getting a nice little distance on it as well, as we see it here. Second down upcoming for Central Cass, as this one will be spotted at the 47-yard line. Clock is ticking with 6:45 and counting here on the Bank North scoreboard. Grand Forks Central getting a little bit closer to the line with those linebackers right now, with the push here by Cruchet on the offensive line. Handoff by Cruchet. Cruchet gets past the 50 to the 45, and it's another nice gain on the play, as this will go for 8 yards. You come and pull Wiersma to set the edge, and Cruchet goes right down Main Street for 68 yards rushing. So far, we've seen Nelson, Wiersma, and company kind of pull a little bit. The Squirrels going behind Quam and Wunderlich, the future UND Fine Hawk commit, running up that right-handed side so far here from the Squirrels' perspective. 2 wide receivers near sideline, 1 to the right. Handoff will go to Blix. Blix gets past the 45, spins out of a tackle to the 40, and he gets wrapped up at the 40-yard line. Feldman comes in on the tackle. It's a gain of 5. It brings up 2nd and 5. 3 carries now for 8 yards for Blix. Holland has a 13-yard rush, and then Olsen with that reverse with a 45-yard rush. Biggest and largest play from scrimmage here from either team tonight. Second down and 5 here for Central Cass. 2 wide receivers, both left and right for the Squirrels as Kegley, motion man coming right to left, is going to be Holland. They will give it to Holland. Holland looks for a block, gets the first down. Holland to the 30, to the 25-20, and pushed out of bounds there. Holland for 20 yards. First down and 10, Central Cass. 4 catches for 39 yards here for the Squirrels. As we'll see it with 5:27 left to play here in this first half. As Central Cass will bring Navecki in here into the backfield. As Kegley back in that shotgun. Hands off to Navecki. Makes a cut. Gets inside to about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 4. So 4-yard rush on the way for Nedvecki here as Central Cass, as they've done throughout the course of the game. We've seen them go quick. Little sugar, no huddle at times. Other times, quickly look to sideline, then get on the football. And there's a 2nd and 6 upcoming here for Central Cass. Squirrels looking to get back up by 2 scores here if they can put this one in the end zone or at least come away with a field goal attempt. Kegley in the gun. Grand Forks Central, 5 at the line. Holland goes in motion. They will give it to Holland on a jet sweep. Holland gets to the 16, breaks a tackle, breaks another one at the 15, and Holland gets to the 13 for a gain of 3. Coming in was Fisher to try to get the stick at the line, and Holland broke a tackle not once but twice. He earned the 3 yards, and it brings up a 3rd down and a manageable 3 on the way. As it'll be 3rd down and 3 with 4:20 left to play here in the first half. Squirrels have been living on 4-down territory where they have gone for it on 4th down, and they've gotten it all 3 times. Squirrels don't want to have to answer that question, though, here on this play. Central looking to get it to a 4th down. Handoff. This one will get to the 10. Cruchet gets to the 6, and he's taken down there. It's a gain of 7. 7 yards on the way here for Cruchet. He's got 75 yards rushing on 14 attempts. A drive that started back at their own 30-yard line with 8:16 left to go in the first half. We'll see it here with a 1st and goal at the 6. Trips to the right-handed side. In the slot goes Cash Lorenz. Cruchet in the backfield. Handoff to Cruchet. Cruchet to the 5. Cruchet trying to turn that pile into the end zone. And Cruchet down at about the 1-yard line. See where they spot it. Could be the 2 at the knee, and it will be about the 2, so it's a gain of 4. But from a Central Cass perspective, you'll take it. Some more clock comes off, as you don't want to leave Grand Forks Central with too much time to try to come back and try to double-dip score before the first half, then get it again in the second half. Back to a Wildcat with Cruchet, with Holland to the right-handed side of him. Cruchet takes it, goes to the right-handed side. Cruchet trying to put it in the end zone. He's got the hat trick in the first half. Cruchet with a 2-yard rushing score and his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. From 1 yard, 12 yards, and now 2 yards out, Cruchet with the 2-point, with the 2-yard rushing touchdown. And we'll see if it's a 2-point conversion. We saw the point after attempt on the first time here from the Squirrels. Trying to see if they're going to go for 2 points yet again. They already made 1 tonight. And it looks like they will go for 2 one more time for Central Cass. Trying to make it a 23-7 football game. Trips to the near sideline, 1 to the right-handed side here for Kegley. Play clock to 10. Motion man going left to right is Cotton. They're going to give it to Cotton in the flat. He dives in. 2-point is good. That'll go to Cotton here. It's a new score on the Bank North scoreboard. 23-7, Central Cass.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
For the Central Cass Squirrels, it's a 12-play drive that goes 70 yards and takes up 5 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. It's a line drive end-over-end kick that goes to the 13-yard line. The Knights then going to reverse it. Ball's on the turf. It's still picked up by Grand Forks Central, and the Knights are going to pay for this one. The ball comes out late, but they're going to say it was on the turf. Grand Forks Central will have the ball. The turf caused the fumble. Grand Forks Central with Carson Cutterba able to get on top of the football here, and the Knights avoid a nightmare here in the first half, but with 2:49 left to play, now all of a sudden the ball will be at the 12-yard line here for Grand Forks Central. At the half, Fargo Davies leads West Fargo Horace 13-6. Winner of that wins the EDC, or the 3A East region regular season, and the 1 seed, that again is in 3A. Davies leads 13-6 over Horace. 2:49 left to play. Knights with 2 timeouts. The Squirrels got all 3 here in this first half. As Grand Forks Central looking for the quick hitch as they're able to make the man. This one goes to 25, and a nice play by Mr. Bruce. Bruce with a gain of 14 on the play. Also able to see that one go for 14 yards. As Bruce, 2 receptions now for 23 yards. Able to see this one now for Grand Forks Central. Able to see a new quarterback in the game in Brody Ledegi. Ledegi into the game, a new QB again for Grand Forks Central with 322 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and a pick here so far this season. He gets the first down, a nice pass right off the bat here to get to the 26-yard line to Bruce. Opens things up a little bit. Perales in the backfield. He'll get the handoff carry. Perales gets the 30. Met up there. It's a gain of 4. Make that a gain of about 5 on the play here for Perales. 3 carries for 15 yards. So for Grand Forks Central, they get the first down. Now with 2 minutes left to go, 2 timeouts. Time to open up the playbook a little bit here, especially if you can get one more quality first down in a rush here if you're the Knights. But the clock continues to wind here with 1:45. 1 wide receiver left. You got a bunch to the near side as Ledegi here again at quarterback. Fisher in the backfield with the play clock, and we'll get a timeout here for Grand Forks Central. We'll break as well as the clock stops with 1:36 left to play here in quarter number 2.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
Timeout on the field brought to you in part by Taupe Insurance. Get in touch with Taupe Insurance today at 701-347-4045. Let Ryan get a quote or review of your policies at Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Out-of-town scoreboard, Dickinson leads Devils Lake 24-21 with 5 minutes left to play. Dickinson 24, Devils Lake 21. Again, the Mavericks got to win that game, and if they do, it's a 4-way tie for second place in the West, if that is the case. But here in the East, it's a 2nd and a 5 here for the Knights. They have 1 timeout remaining. As the handoff will be a reversal. Now they're looking to pass down the field. Putting this one up, looking for Zayd Martin. Zayd Martin at the 30. Incomplete. He caught it, came down with it, just couldn't convert. What a throw by Bruce on the reversal. That went from the Knights 25 to the Squirrels 30, a pass of nearly 50 yards. Zayd Martin was able to get by the secondary, had to come back for the ball just a skosh, and as he came back for it, couldn't bring it down, but a little razzle-dazzle by the Knights will go incomplete. Not a bad throw, though, here for Bruce. Be a 3rd down and 5, and now all of a sudden, if you're a Central Cass fan, you can get a stick here, call a timeout, try to get the ball back before the half. Squirrels fans making some noise here in Castleton. Under 90 seconds to play in the first half. Ledegy, handoff, gives to Fisher. Fisher gets the 35, and Fisher bulldozes his way past the 40. That's going to be a gain of about 10. 8 carries for 61 yards. That first down also stops the clock, but look at this little quick sugar no huddle by the Knights. Knights will take another 10-yard rush by Fisher if they can get it. They will pitch it to the outside. This will be caught at the 44-yard line. Really good stick here on the near side from Central Cass by Keaton Link after a reception here by Clausen. As Clausen is able to get 2 yards and a timeout on the play. So Clausen able to get into the receiving category here this evening for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Ledegy now with 2 for 2 with 16 yards. Timeout will break as well with 70 seconds left in the opening half.
Give them the freedom to grow with the peace of mind of security and safety.
Let me do my thing. So get ready, get up, get ready, yeah.
America's Best Checking for students from Bell Bank makes it easy to let them do their thing.
It's what it's all about.
Visit www.bell.bank/student-checking to learn more. Or stop into a branch near you to open an account today.
Let me do my thing.
Bell Bank, member FDIC.
In 1A football on YourLiveEvent.com with Joe Lancello. Northern Cass 12, Valley City 7. Midway through the second quarter. That's a win and get in kind of a playoff game atmosphere in the regular season. That's again in 1A football. This timeout brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual. For more information and find an agent near you, go to CassCountyMutual.com. So the Knights call the timeout. They will be out of timeouts for the rest of this first half. So if you're Grand Forks Central, get a first down or get out of bounds to preserve time for Central Cass, tackle within the frame and see if you can stick them before they get a first. The Knights here with a runner like Fisher. You might hand the ball off once or twice more here and see if you can play the numbers game and try to crack one on the ground potentially. Ledegy has some time, steps up now. Ledegy evades a sack, looking down the field, spins. Ledegy gonna get wrapped up right at the line. Really good play by Grady Mueller. It's a loss of 1. As now Central Cass wants to burn a timeout here. Ledegy looked like he had a chance, but then once he spun, that really allowed Mueller to get there defensively and make a stick for Central Cass. So we'll keep it here. Still to come, we'll get to our halftime show, brought to you in part by Farmers Union Insurance, Wasley and Kramer Agency. Scott and Tyler, your local small town agents in Castleton. For the Central Cass Squirrels, it's been 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns. For the Grand Forks Central Knights, punt, touchdown, and to be determined here. Just 6 possessions combined in the opening half here in Castleton. Central Cass so far has taken 3 Crochet rushing touchdowns. It has been the difference. Well, for Grand Forks Central, a Fisher 1-yard score to get them in the end zone, and at the time make it a 15-7 lead. Has that feeling of postseason football here in North Dakota. Minnesota postseason football begins Tuesday night with section quarterfinals. Yeah, pigtails for volleyball on Monday. Postseason in Minnesota, fresh in action. We'll have games on KRJB 106.5 FM, KRJM 101.5 FM, also on YourLiveEvent.com. Check out our website for the upcoming schedule early next week. 3rd down along 9. The Knights need the Squirrels 49 for the first. Squirrels, they're going to bring 4. They run a little stunt. Ledegy near sideline, steps up, throws complete across the middle for a first down to the 46-yard line, as that'll be a gain of 12 yards. That goes to Thompson. Eli Thompson on the reception. So 18 on the reception. It's a first down, 44 seconds as the clock, they will talk it over here with Mike Kraus on what they're going to need to put back on. As it was a first down, clock should have stopped. It was inbounds to start with, not going out of bounds, so they'll make sure that they got that and good to roll. First down and 10 here for Central Cass. So they put it at 49 seconds, and we are back in business as they will roll it. Here's the Knights quickly get towards the play. Ball will go to the near sideline here. Ball at the 46-yard line. Ledegee fires. That'll go to Thompson. Thompson gets out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Three receptions for 23 yards. And when talking with Coach Jake Schauer, just kind of how these two different quarterbacks throughout the year, he just goes on a gut feeling, maybe a matchup. They both provide something a little different to see what you can try to attack a defense with. As the Knights, with 2 wide receivers split out left-handed side, will be in the pistol here on the way for Ledegee. Fisher with him in the backfield. They play action him going down the middle. Oh, what a one-handed grab by Eli Thompson to the 25. It's a gain of 16. Thompson, 4 catches on the way for 37 yards. Make that 39 yards, and the Knights will clock it. But coming back behind his frame, going up the seam, there is Thompson, the 6'2" tight end with one heck of a catch. Thompson came in with 8 receptions on the season for 122 yards. He already has 4 tonight for 49 yards. As Grand Forks Central clocks it with no timeouts remaining to stop the clock with 27.6 seconds here in the half. 2 wide receivers left in its side. He faked it on the way to Fisher to open up just a little bit of a hole on that second layer, and they popped it for a big play. What do they do here on a 2nd and 10? Ledegee has time going to the middle, incomplete. He had 2 wide receivers there of Thompson and also a Bruce. It brings up 3rd down and 10. Ledegee, though, throws a nice ball, able to get that out quickly here for Grand Forks Central. 23 seconds remaining here in the half. If you're Central Cass, all about tackling, inbounds, keeping guys in front of you here. If you're Grand Forks Central, with no timeouts remaining, you're almost in, you probably should pass it situation. Yes, you got Fisher back there. If you're going to run the ball, you quickly need to run a second play in case you don't get that first down to stop the clock. Play clock gets down to 7 seconds. Ledegee here in the pistol. Twins to the left-handed side. They'll send 4 out in the pattern. Ledegee steps up, takes a shot. This will be caught, and the Knights will make it to Brooklyn Bruce at the 18-yard line, and now it's the fire drill. The fire drill will come on here. It's a gain of 7 to Bruce. Bruce with 3 catches for 30 yards. The Knights with 7. Now with 5. They'll come on here with Ryland. Dobrovolny coming on for a 35-yard field goal. The right-footed kick is up. It's long enough. Is it good? No, it's not. The Knights, though, got a chance to put points on the board. It's wide right, and that's how we'll end this first half of play. Grand Forks Central, 7 points in the quarter. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, they put 23 up. Total 16 in quarter number 2. Halftime show coming up next, brought to you in part by Farmers Union Insurance, Wasley & Kramer Agency on yourLivent.com. At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal, it's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
High school football tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com. Christian Bowen, I'm Chase Miller. Thank you so much for tuning in to high school football here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com here in Castleton, as we'll take you through some of the out-of-town scoreboards and what is final here tonight. Hillsborough Central Valley picks up a win 46-8 here for HCV as they defeat the Mayport CG Patriots here this evening. That game again in 1A football. That game also kicking off at 6 o'clock earlier today with Jake Berkmeyer here on YourLiveEvent.com. In Devils Lake, Dickinson 24, Devils Lake 21 with just about a minute left to go in regulation. In Hunter, Valley City now leads Northern Cass 13-12 with a minute left to play in the first half. Highlanders again with the advantage over Northern Cass, and Ellendale Edgeley Cullum all over Oaks 28-6. AAA scoreboard: Fargo Davies over Horace by 7 at the half, 13-6. West Fargo leads Fargo North 28-0. Here, that's a look at your out-of-town scoreboard. At the half, Scott and Tyler, your local small-town agents for Castleton and surrounding communities. Whether it's crop and farm, home and auto, get in touch with Scott and Tyler with Farmers Union Insurance in Castleton for the great rates and local service that you expect. We come back, first half numbers after this, and the scoring drives when we return here in Castleton.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance,
Maybe? I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
On your Firehouse Halftime Show, brought to you in part by Farmers Union Insurance with Scott and Tyler Agency here on YourLiveEvent.com. It is the 23-7 Central Cass Squirrels over the Grand Forks Central Knights. Here's a look at your first half numbers. First for Central Cass, the Squirrels with 230 yards of total offense, 154 yards rushing so far here, and they have 76 yards through the air. One penalty for 15 yards and no turnovers. For Grand Forks Central, 139 yards of offense. They have 73 yards on the ground and 74 yards in the air. One penalty for 15 yards and no turnovers here for Grand Forks Central. Central Cass led by Colton Cruchet, 18, make that 16 carries for 81 yards and 3 touchdowns with rushing scores of 12 yards, 1 yard, and 2 yards here for Cruchet. Blix so far 3 carries for 8 yards. Navecki 1 for 4. Olson 1 for 45 yards. And Holland 2 for 16. Brody Kegley, 12 of 14 through the air for 76 yards. Easton Holland, four receptions for 39 yards. Cruchet has 2 for 6. Lorenz, 1 for 6. Tope, 1 for -1. Cotton has 2 catches for 10 yards. And then Kellen Cruchet has 2 catches for 19 yards. For the Grand Forks Central Knights, led by Fisher with 8 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. Perales so far on the evening has 3 carries for 15 yards, and Ledegy has 1 carry for -1 yard. Ledegy, though, through the air so far here for Grand Forks Central is 6 of 8 for 51 yards. Lease is 2 of 3 for 15 yards, and Bruce is 0 for 1. Thompson with the receptions, 4 catches for 40, make that 4 catches for 39 yards. Clausen 1 for 2, 1 catch for 2 yards. And then from there, Bruce has 7 catches, make that 3 catches for 30 yards. His last one going 7 yards here for Grand Forks Central. Central Cass, 3 possessions, all 3 scores, while for the Knights, a punt, a touchdown, and a missed field goal. Also for the Squirrels, scoring drives of 15 plays, 10 plays, and 12 plays here for Castleton. Cruchet, a 12-yard rushing touchdown to open up the game with 6:05 in the first quarter. Central Cass also scored on a Cruchet 1-yard score. Kangley to Olson for the 2-point conversion. Fisher with a 1-yard rushing touchdown to make it 15-7. Then Cruchet from 2 yards out, Kangley to Cotton for the 2-point conversion, and that's where we have a 23-7 game. When we come back, we'll take a look at the what-if playoff scenarios, and we'll return here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartments. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
Hi, we're Tommy's Express. Scan the QR code for a fast pass to a free month of washing. Our modern car wash offers a bright, open environment and a low-stress conveyor belt entry. Our signature scent, ceramic body wax, spot-free rinse, and heated blowers give you the best shine in town. Check out the wash for yourself. Washing your car is easy, fast, and fun. Visit Tommy's Express today.
High school football here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com. So here in the East, here's what all the what-if scenarios are. If it stays like this, Grand Forks Central and Central Cass, if it stays like this for the conclusion, Central Cass would play Kindred for a winner-take-all region regular season showdown a week from tonight in Kindred on YourLiveEvent.com. Winner would be the 1. Kindred can be no worse than the 2. Central Cass, even with the win tonight, could still fall out of hosting a playoff game, barring what happens with the Cushman Classic next week then, because Red River has the game in hand over Central Cass from earlier today. Or from earlier on the season. Now, Fargo South can still make the playoffs. They must beat Wahpeton, and Central has to beat Red River, and the Bruins would be the 4. Red River would be knocked out of playoff contention. Red River can still make the 2 seed just some things need to go their way moving forward, and that's first things first. They must beat Grand Forks Central next week, and then if they win and Central Cass loses to Kindred, Red River then ends up being the 2 seed. Then the winner of this game would eventually be the 3, with the loser to be the 4. We'll test you about all that here later in about a half hour. But right now on yourliveevent.com, as it stands, if this score holds, again, Central Cass will play Kindred a week from tonight for the number 1 seed. If Central can come back and win this game, the Vikings clinch the number 1 seed next week already, regardless of the outcome against the Central Cass Squirrels. And then if Grand Forks Central can win this game and then also win against Red River, they would end up being the number 2 seed here in 2A football in East Region. Hillsborough Central Valley over Mayport CG, 46-8. EEK all over Oaks. And then it's been a good football game up in Hunter here tonight. Joe Lancello has a call for you on yourliveevent.com between the Jags and the Highliners as we take a look at the getting late in that one in the first half. Northern Cass with a 18-13 advantage last we saw. So that one again going right down to the wire between the Highliners and the Jags in high school football as well. That does it for our halftime show, brought to you in part by Farmers Union Wasling Kramer Agency here in Castleton. The Squirrels 23, the Knights 7, back with second half action here in Castleton.
Catch all the action of the fall postseason for Minnesota and North Dakota high school football and volleyball on yourliveevent.com.
Going down the field, it's picked off here from Kindred. Tanning Johnson to the 30, to the 25. Johnson, could he go? Yes, sir! A 45-yard pick six for
Takes it up, played high in the air by Horkin. Here's risky left side off of a touch. Kept alive Thornton. Now played high. Angle, Severson, smash! Count, good!
Check out the postseason schedule on yourliveevent.com. Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
In MLB action earlier today, the Mariners over the Blue Jays 6-2. So Seattle takes a 3-2 series lead in the ALCS. Well, the Dodgers are on the verge of sweeping the Brewers with a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. High school football here tonight in Castleton. Grand Forks Central to get the ball to start this second half of play, as Central Cass will put this one on the tee at the 40-yard line here, as Central Cass will come on here with Hayden Filati on senior night to put this one on the tee. As they will. We'll see what Grand Forks Central can do offensively. So far, possessions have been at a premium with just 3 for both teams in the opening half. This one will be a line drive kick that will bounce towards the Knights' 13-yard line, picked up there from Grand Forks Central. The Knights get to about the 28 on the play, as it'll be Clausen. Clausen gets the 28-yard line. That's where the Knights will start with the football here for the first time in this second half. So 11:55 left to play here in quarter number 3, and we'll see what Grand Forks Central can do offensively, as they will come out with Brody Ledegy. Ledegy will come out and continue to play quarterback as he did in the second quarter to start here in the second half. One wide receiver is Bruce to the right-handed side. Near sideline coming out is Trey Clausen. As the Knights, I'll see in the backfield here, this will be Fisher. As Ledegy surveys the defense. A little miscommunication This one will get rolled to the right-hand side. Play action. Fisher just went to the left, and then a late hit. This one will be on Central Cass. So going to the outside, able to get that to the boundary, as this is going to be caught for on the far sideline there for Bruce. And Bruce will get to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the play. And then Bruce with his 4th reception of the game and a 15-yard penalty as well on the Central Cass Squirrels. So all 3 flags have been 15-yard varieties here tonight in Castleton. And just like that, the Knights now at midfield here with a 1st down and 10. As the Knights will able to gain 22 yards of real estate on one play. 1st down and 10 for Grand Forks Central with Ledegy. Ledegy, the sophomore, will hand this one off. This goes to Fisher. Fisher able to make a spin move to the 48. Good pursuit defensively. Grady Mueller part of the tackling party here for Central Cass. It's a gain of 2. Fisher now with 9 carries for 63 yards. He's had at least a touch on every possession so far for Grand Forks Central. The Knights averaging 34 points per game defensively, giving up 19. Their last state title back in 2005 over Fargo South in AAA football against the Bruins, 39-29. Last time they made the Dakota Bowl was 2 seasons ago, losing to Fargo North in 2023. Knights, they went to a 1-win team last year, and this year already with 6 wins in their first 7 games. Handoff goes to Fisher. Fisher able to plow his way to the 45 and keep the pile moving past the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 9. Able to see a couple of Knights just pull offensively, able to come in and provide a little bit of the mileage there if you're Grand Forks Central for guys up front. Boyvet, the sophomore, came into the game now and able to be on the left tackle spot here, moving some guys around also on the far sideline here for the Knights. As it's a 1st down and 10 for Grand Forks Central. Couple of rushes and a 15-yard penalty, and boom, you're at the Central Cass 39-yard line. This will be a play action to the outside. Incomplete over the outstretched hands of Thompson. Thompson can catch that. He's got a little turf to work with. Instead, it will bring up 2nd down and 10. 7 for 10 for Ledegy for 58 yards. It'll stop the clock with 10:27 left to play in quarter number 3. Regular season concludes next week in AA and AAA. The opening round of the playoffs on Halloween night on Friday, October the 31st, here in 2A and 3A, which is the quarterfinals. 1A and 9-man already start up next Saturday, 8 days from now here in North Dakota. 2nd and 10. This will go to the boundary. Bruce, oh, look at the spin move by Bruce, and Bruce gets to the 26. Bruce with the spin gained another 5 yards. That's a gain of 14. Bruce now 5 catches for 51 yards here for Bruce. Nice pass there from Ledegy. One thing from Brody, he gets the ball out quickly right when he finds his guy. It is coming out in a hurry. So 1st down and 10 for Grand Forks Central on the far hash at the 26-yard line. Trips in a bunch with Lease. Make that paralysis in the backfield with Ledegy. Ledegy has some time, fires. This one going to be incomplete. Looking for Bruce. This will be now 2nd and 10. So 2nd down and 10 here for Grand Forks Central, and with where this particular spot is on the football field and how many possessions he had in the first half, you feel like from a Knight perspective, this is 4-down territory here. Trailing it by 16 points, where right now it's touchdown and try to see if you can get another 2-point conversion here to make it a 1-possession game. So for the Squirrels are 2 for 2 on the 2-point conversions here tonight. Pistol formation for Ledegy. Fisher in the backfield with them. Grand Forks Central, they will run the football here. Fisher with a nice juke, and then he gets the 25-yard line. That's about it. So it's a gain of 1 on the play. As coming in was Evan Wiersma. Makes it 3rd down and 9. So 3rd down here for Grand Forks Central. Trying to see if they can get inside the red zone and then make this a little bit more manageable. 4th down in a drive that has already Taking 2.5 minutes off the clock here for the Knights. Knights, at least to start here in this second half, doing what they needed to do. Put a drive together and see if they can put one in the end zone. Play clock to 4 seconds, to 3, to 2, to 1. There's a timeout here before the delay of game. 9:08 left to play in the third quarter. We'll break with them. Grand Forks Central 3rd and 9 when we return.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
If you're a fan of UND or NDSU, you're in the I-States tomorrow as NDSU goes up against Indiana State, UND against Southern Illinois and Carbondale for those two football games for the FCS here in North Dakota schools. This time out brought to you in part by Tope Insurance. Get in touch with Ryan at Tope Insurance in Castleton for a quarter review of your policies at 347-4045. So if you're Coach Schauer, you have to burn a timeout before you lose 5 yards. Gives you a chance to draw something up. We saw a trick play that almost converted in the second quarter after a timeout. What will they call here with Ledegy? Fisher in the backfield. Knights spread him out. Ledegy has some time. Ledegy steps up, fires. This is going to be nearly picked off by Cruchet. As that was a near pick on the way as Ledegy was looking, then threw it on the far side. And that's going to be incomplete. As that was a near pick on the way here for Central Cass. The Squirrels nearly had a pick six opportunity. Instead, it'll be 4th down and 9. So the Knights catch a break, and they get one more chance here on the drive to try to convert on the first down. They will need the Squirrels 16 for the first. Trips right, one near sideline yet again here for Ledegy. As Ledegy handles the football. Able to motion right-handed side. This one will be incomplete. As this will be a turnover on downs. Turnover on downs here for Grand Forks Central, their first. And for the Squirrels, a chance now to see if you can put one through the uprights on a field goal or a touchdown and get up by 3 scores. With 8:49 left to play here in quarter number 3, and a clock that will start with the drive at their own 25-yard line. The Squirrels have had touchdown possessions of 80 yards, and also 70 yards here this evening. Fargo Davies leads West Fargo Horace 16-6 with under 12 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, 11-13 in 3A football here in AA. And we'll see this on the way for Kegley. Handoff. This one goes to the Squirrels past the 30 to about the 31. As in on the carry, as it'll be Cruchet for a gain of 6 yards. 17 carries for 87 yards as Cruchet makes it 2nd down. They quickly bunch the far side and overload it. And this will go for the Squirrels for about a gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play. Able to get that to Cruchet, get a little bit closer to the line of gain. Cruchet with his 3rd reception of the Knights, able to get to the 30, about 2.5-yard line and make it 3rd and a long 2 here for the Squirrels. Knights looking to get off the ball here and see if they can get a 3 and out for Central Cass. Try and do what you've done all game. Get close to a 3rd down, 4th down opportunity. And then from there, see if you can get the first down. Handoff. Nope, they'll play action it. Coming out to the near sideline. This will be a catch at the 40 to the 50, and Central Cass gets the first down. Good play call and design to Mason Olson. You leak him out on the inside, faking it to Cruchet. The 32 to the 48. It's a gain of 20. Olson's had some big plays. He's had the reverse for 45 yards and also there for 20 yards on the pitch and catch. It's 1st down and 10 here for Central Cass. As Kegley sees it trips to left-handed side, one near sideline. Grand Forks Central showing some pressure here. Will they bring it? Knights, they're going to bring 5. They come out with the jailhouse blitz. This will go to the outside. That'll go to Holland, and Holland gets wrapped up. Nice defensive play from Grand Forks Central on the boundary by Brooklyn Bruce. That'll be a loss of 3. Able to get that one on the outside, just unable to try to cut it up, and really good job by Bruce on the play. But if you're Central Cass right now, up by 16, continue to see if you can have a good run by Cruchet, try to get something quickly. We haven't seen Central Cass take the big shot play down the field with Central playing for most of the game, either a single high or double high safety look here tonight. Partially because they've gotten some good rushes, like a rush like this by Cruchet. Cruchet able to make his way to the 46-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Maybe hasn't been flashy on the rushes by Cruchet, but 5 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, you'll take it if you're a Central Cass fan, and it brings up 3rd down and 8. As they will need the Knights' 38-yard line for the first. Central Cass, give credit to the guys up front with Wunderlich, Quam, Cooney, Nelson, and Wiersma opening up some holes right now here for Cruchet. Knights, though, with another 3rd down opportunity to try to get off the field here midway through this 3rd quarter. Knights bring some pressure. Handoff goes to Cruchet, and he is stuck in the backfield. Fisher timed it perfectly. It's a loss of 4. Well, for Grand Forks Central, they able to come up and perfectly executed there by Fisher. The 5'10 senior just came in through the A-gap and blew it up immediately. And for the Squirrels, they have lived on 4th down here, and they look to go for it here. Or might you have a quick little pooch kick as Kegley making the call. Play clock under 10. This one will be a pooch by Cruchet with the left. This will be taking a Central Cass to the 31-yard line, so it takes a roll. That'll be a gain of 19 yards of field position, but the first punt of the night here for Central Cass, and a much-needed punt at that if you're a Grand Forks Central fan to still keep this at a 2-score contest. With 5:22 left to play in the 3rd quarter, Knights will start with a football, as this one will be at the 33-yard line is where they will mark it here. For the Squirrels, you take 2.5 and make that 3.5 minutes off the clock in that 3rd quarter on your first drive. But if you're Grand Forks Central, you could ill afford to give up a score to be down by 3 possessions, and you still give yourself a chance here to try to put a drive together, trying to get to 13, maybe 15 points here on this drive if you can. As the Knights will bring in Lease, and now they'll see it to Fisher, and Fisher gets stuck right at the line. Really good play defensively by Grady Mueller. He's been a little bit of everywhere here, as Fisher just couldn't get much at the line. It's now 12 carries for 73 yards. And your linebackers are making plays. It also helps for the guys up front with Quam or Domeyer or Rohr or Wiersma to take a block and then let those linebackers come in and fill the alley. That's exactly what Mueller was able to do. 2nd down and 10 here for Grand Forks Central. The Knights will send out Bruce, and alongside with him and Clausen for the wide receivers, motion man Thompson here at the tight end spot. As this will go to Paralis. Paralis gets past the 42, the 41-yard line. That'll be a nice gain here for Grand Forks Central. It's a gain of 8. Paralis, 4 carries for 23 yards, and Coach Butler had a lot of good things to say about Paralis here. So when you put him on tape, he is just their hard-earned yarder kind of a back. Might not wow you in terms of getting 15, 20 yards, but he's going to get 3, he's going to get 4, he's going to play through some contact here for Paralis. Paralis back there again. One wide receiver left and right as the handoff will be going to Paralis here. Paralis able to get those 2 to 3 now, 4 yards, and it's a first down, and the Knights continue to have it here on the drive and moving the chains. Able to get a good push by McNally, Harlow, and also Fisher here for Grand Forks Central. The guards and the center able to get a little push and allow Paralis to make his way. Paralis, a little guy at 5'8", 185 pounds. He goes through that line. You kind of might go, where is he? In terms of able to come down and just make a way and get to a crease. First down and 10 again for Central as Thompson motions left to right. Central cast 6 men at the line. They're going to bring all of them. Here's a pass to the outside. Thompson with the catch, pass to 50, and Thompson gets hit and stuck, and that's going to be a gain of about 8 yards. Noah Lease takes a shot, but Grand Forks Central converts for 8. As Lease now has 23 yards passing. Well, for Thompson, he's got 47 yards receiving. Able to see it here for Noah Lease. Able to come into the game now for Grand Forks Central. It's a 2nd down and 2. As the Knights will see it with a handoff. This one will go to Fisher, and he's going nowhere. It's a tackle of a loss of 3. Hunter Dolmeyer set the edge for the junior, and Fisher just had nowhere to go. 74 yards on that one, as Dolmeyer again able to set the edge and make the play here on the way for Central Cass, as we'll see it now 3rd down and 5 here for the Knights. As we'll handle it with the senior quarterback in Noah Lease. Squirrels would like another tackle for a loss of 3. Knights looking for something positive here to at least make a 4th down a little bit more manageable if they don't get the first. Screen play gets thrown to Fisher. Fisher gets the 1st down and some to the 40, and Fisher is at the 30 to the 25, and Fisher makes his way to the 20 and down at the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 33 on the screen. As Fisher with the catch, his first one of the night. That'll be Fisher's 5th reception of the season, now for 100 yards. It'll be a 1st down on the way here for Grand Forks Central. 2:29 left to play, a much-needed 3rd down conversion for the Knights as they're knocking on the door here in their 2nd possession of the half. Brooklyn Bruce to the near sideline, Clausen to the right here for Grand Forks Central. As they motion Thompson to the right-handed side. High snap, handoff, Fisher. Fisher able to get to about the 15-yard line for a gain of 3. If Grand Forks Central does put the ball in the end zone, it then becomes the ever-important 2-point conversion, because if you don't get it, it will still be a 2-possession game. That's how large those two-point conversions are right now if you're a Central Cass fan. For a Grand Forks Central, 2nd down and 7, ball spotted here at the 15-yard line. They just first things first need to put the ball in the end zone here for the Knights. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. Lease handling it, finds Bruce at the 5. Bruce with the spin, Bruce in the end zone, touchdown Knights. It's a 15-yard connection, pitch and catch, Lease to Bruce, and the Knights are on the board here in the 2nd half. 71 yards passing for Lease in the touchdown. Bruce with his 6th reception of the night for 66 yards and a score, and that's Brooklyn's 5th receiving touchdown of the season for the 6-foot senior for the Knights. And as we alluded to, the ever-important 2-point conversion here for Grand Forks Central. So you get a wide receiver both left and right for the Knights, as Fisher in the backfield. Motion man goes Thompson. With it, gonna be back looking for Bruce, and that's going to be incomplete. Won't matter regardless. Good defense on the way by Parker Wixel, but the Knights do score. They cut into this deficit down by 10 here late in the 3rd.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
As we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com for the Grand Forks Central Knights, a possession that goes nearly 4 minutes, eats up 67 yards, and able to put the ball in the end zone here for the Knights, as they were able to do so for the touchdown here for Grand Forks Central. So the Knights put one on the board for the Central Cass Squirrels. All they do for their second possession here of this third quarter. Well, Ryland will put this one on the tee. Dobrovolny, right-footed end over end. Nice kick that'll make its way to the 4-yard line. Grand Forks Central trying to make a stick for the Central Cass Squirrels. We'll see a flag coming out. Central Cass keeping their way to the outside. And nice return here from Zane Blix. And then another flag will come out as well. So 2 penalties on the play. One at the 22 and one at the 31-yard line as Blix on the return here for Central Cass. Now it's a matter of what do you do with the yellow laundry on the football field. Or the first penalty might be a block in the back, a face mask. Last one almost to be maybe after the penalty or after the play was done. And we've seen a couple of those here so far throughout with 3 15-yard penalties. As the white hat Mike Kraus will come on, holding against Central Cass on the first penalty. And then this will be a dead ball personal foul on Central Cass as well. The way that he's pointing was towards Central Cass. Well, we'll double check here. So you'll take the 10 yards, and then you'll go the 15 where they're pointing. So they went one way, they went the other. So you'll take it from the penalty and then spot it, and then it will be at the 27. So you get 10-yard penalty here on Central Cass. Their third for 40 yards. And Grand Forks Central will get their second penalty, and that'll be for 30. And eventually get Central Cass with the football for their 5th possession of the game at the 27-yard line. Central Cass, shotgun formation here for Kegley. Knights brought some pressure last drive. This time they get out quickly here to the near sideline to Holland. And Holland trying to keep his feet. Holland gets the 30. Holland had to work for all 3 of those yards. As coming down and grabbing him on the ankles there for Grand Forks Central was Lucas Fisher, the senior. It's a gain of 3. 6 receptions now for 39 yards on the way for Holland. Kegley 97 yards through the air. 16 of 18 for Kegley for 97 yards. 2nd and 7 for the Squirrels. Kegley will motion out Cruchet. Looking for a shot play. Kegley with his feet fires. Incomplete. The stretched hand bats that one away. Cruchet makes the catch. It's a first down. Good play defensively by Tyson Vano, as Vano was able to bat that one away. Otherwise, that would have been a first down. First incompletion of the second half for Kegley. And with 34.8 seconds left to play, if the Knights can get off the field, you can feel the momentum making its way to the team clad in white and maroon tonight. Well, if the Squirrels can get the first down here, they can take it to the end of the third quarter. Here for Central Cass, 2 wide receivers left, one to the near sideline. They will be in that shotgun formation again for Kegley. Kegley play action, fires, throws. This is going to be caught on the far side to Olsen. Olsen to the 35. He's short, 2 yards short. It's a gain of 5, and that could end the third quarter. Olsen on the catch, his second of the night for now 25 yards. And Kegley looks at the clock, and it looks like the Squirrels will try to hustle to the line here and maybe get a free play off or try to get a hard count. Squirrels got to get lined up. They do. And now they'll go to the fourth quarter. 23-13 here in Castleton. The Central Cass Squirrels scoreless in the third. Grand Forks Central puts up 6. It's a 10-point margin as we head to the fourth quarter on YourLiveEvent.com.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
On the Bank North scoreboard here tonight, it's Central Cass 23, Grand Forks Central 13. Christian Bowen running camera. Chase Miller with you here tonight in Castleton. Make sure you patronize all of our sponsors for bringing you high school athletics here on yourliveevent.com. Without them, we would not be able to bring you these broadcasts here, from football to volleyball to our state cross-country preview show upcoming here early part of next week. So a fourth down. The Squirrels have converted consistently on this down tonight. Will they punt or will they go for it? The Knights are expecting a punt. Central Cass will go for it with Cruchet. Cruchet needs the 42. It's going to depend on the spot. He got tripped up at the 41-yard line. The Knights went to have a returner back because Cruchet already punted one time tonight. And Cruchet, depending on the spot, needs the 42. And that, from our naked eye, looks short, and it is. It's a turnover on downs for the Knights. The Knights make the stand and flip the field here. And to start the fourth quarter of play, they'll have it in Central Cass field position for the first time to start a drive here at the positive side of the field. So 11:55, it's still a two-possession game as it stands right now in the first fourth down that the Squirrels went for it where they didn't get it. As you see it now, two wide receivers left-handed side, one near sideline with Fisher in the backfield, Lease in the pistol. As we'll see it here for Lease. High snap, handoff goes to Fisher. Fisher to the 35-yard line. Fisher trying to come up with it. Ball's on the turf, but it looks like Central Cass recovered quickly, and they did. The center comes up with it with McNally. As McNally fortunate to get on the loose ball, and they will mark it back to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 4 regardless. That could have swung momentum in the team that's clad in red tonight. Also, if you're a fan of college football, the second-ranked Hurricanes right now are on the ropes against Louisville, 24-13 in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 6 here in Castleton, and we have a flag. This looks to be on Grand Forks Central and moving back 5 yards, and it will be. 3 penalties for 35 yards here on the way for the Knights. This one of 2 games here in the state of North Dakota in AA football tonight. The other, Dickinson and Devils Lake. And Devils Lake won 28-24. So Dickinson is officially eliminated from playoff contention. We know the 4 teams out west of Minot North, St. Mary's, Watford City, and Devils Lake. Just a matter of where they're going to finish. Minot North is the number 1 seed. 2nd down upcoming here for the Knights. Lease, we'll see it at the 45, looking to set up the screen. Grand Forks Central can't get it. Ball's on the turf. Is that a fumble? It looks like it is. Wiersma comes up with it. Make that Hunter Domeyer comes up with it, and it's a fumble for the Knights. Grand Forks Central asking for an incompletion that Fisher never had it. But the Squirrels able to pounce on the loose ball, and Domeyer comes up with the fumble recovery. Oh, what a big momentum play. Fumble here for Grand Forks Central, and now for the Central Cass Squirrels. They're able to catch a break defensively at the 45-yard line. You set up the screen. They gave it to Fisher. Ball came out. Domeyer jumped on it immediately. If you're a Knight fan, you might be saying, was there enough of a move to have the completion with the fumble? If you're the Central Cass fans out there, you're saying, yes, there was, and get the football back here offensively to Kegley and crew. On this orbit motion goes Holland. They're going to reverse it. With it is Cotton. Cotton looking to throw the football down the field's got a man, but it's going to be picked off. The Knights come up with it. With it here for Grand Forks Central is Clausen to the 44-yard line. A pick after a fumble, and the Grand Forks Central Knights will come up with it. And also, we have an injured Squirrel on the field. It looks to be Evan Wiersma here, as the Squirrels had the receivers downfield, but unfortunate that the ball was just a hair thrown. We'll be back with more after this here in Castleton.
Give them the freedom to grow with the peace of mind of security and safety.
Let me do my thing. So get ready, get up, get ready, yeah.
America's Best Checking for students from Bell Bank makes it easy to let them do their thing.
It's what it's all about.
Visit www.bell.bank/student-checking to learn more. Or stop into a branch near you to open an account today.
Let me do my thing.
Bell Bank, member FDIC.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. Evan Wiersma comes out of the game now here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Grand Forks Central handle it at the 44-yard line with 11:11 left to play here in the fourth quarter. So a fumble for a pick, and the Knights are still breathing here in this fourth quarter, down by 10. Taking a shot play down the field for Bruce, incomplete on a deep post pattern. There defensively was Keaton Link, and it makes it 2nd and 10. All of a sudden, the offensive play caller is opening up a little bit with the reverse pass from a Central Cass perspective. That play was there. He had two squirrels behind the secondary, just a hair thrown short, which allowed the defender and the safety on the play for Grand Forks Central with Clausen to come up with the football and make the play and still give this Grand Forks Central team a chance offensively here. The Knights need 2 scores in the next 11 minutes to try to win this football game. Central Cass trying to put this one to bed on senior night. Handoff, Fisher trying to bounce out of a tackle, and a really good swarm there from the Squirrels defensively. It's a gain of about 3, but a really good job by multiple Central Cass players to come up with that particular defensive stop. Able to see that one immediately from the boundary. And now it's going to be a 3rd down upcoming here for Grand Forks Central. Unless you have about a sack here, you feel like it's 4th and you got to go for it territory if you're a Grand Forks Central. 2 timeouts remaining for the Knights in this fourth quarter. Central Cass, they have all 3 remaining. This is the 4th possession of the half here for the Knights. They only had 3 in the first half, and the same for Central Cass. They only had 3 in the first half as well. Play action. Ledegi firing. Bruce, oh, what a catch. He climbs the ladder, and Bruce gets taken down near the 32-yard line. Able to make his way. They'll mark it at about the 34-yard line. That'll be a gain of 19 on the play. And what a step-up fire there from Ledegi. 91 yards. Bruce with his 7th catch of the night as he has 85 yards and a touchdown here for Bruce, the 6-foot senior. The Knights taking some shot plays, trailing it by 10 through the air. Motion man goes Thompson, left side of the formation. Play action yet again. Squirrels bringing some pressure. Ledegi able to spin out of not 1 but 2 tackles for a loss and eventually a sack, and somehow gets back to about the original line. It's going to be a loss of 1. Not done bad by Ledegi, though, because barreling down on him was Hunter Domeyer for Central Cass immediately, unevaded to the quarterback, and he was able to spin out of the first one and the second, and somehow made a 2nd and 20 potential 2nd and 11. As Grand Forks Central, last year 1 win on the season. Lone win was against Fargo South at 1-8. This has been the flip the script, if you will. 6 wins, 1 loss, trying to get their 7th. Get 1 step closer to hosting a playoff home game as well if you're Grand Forks Central, if you can make the comeback. Knights, bubble screen, near sideline to Clausen. Clausen gets the 30, spins and gets stuck there by Cruchet. Gets to 28, so a gain of 7. Able to see that to Clausen with the catch. His 2nd reception of the night, he's got 9 yards. And it's a more manageable 3rd down from a Knight point of view here. 3rd and a long 4 for Grand Forks Central. 1 wide receiver to the left-handed side, 1 to the right-handed side for the Knights. Squirrel fans making some noise. Play clock here to 11. As Thompson stays the left-handed side. This will be a penalty. This goes to Bruce for the touchdown, but it's coming back on the false start here by Fisher as Fisher was leaning his way towards the quarterback, and there'll be a legal shift and take the penalty here for Central Cass. That was going to be a skinny post that went to the house, but an illegal shift. Fourth penalty on the night for the Knights for now 40 yards, and that one also takes 6 valuable points off the board. Fisher just was leaning towards the quarterback, and it was called by Mike Kraus. Instead of that touchdown reception, it's a loss of 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 9. But if you're Grand Forks Central, you're probably circling that play call one more time to go back to it. You put Bruce on an island on the far side as a wide receiver, and he said, go make a play, and he's made them here tonight if you're a Grand Forks Central fan. As we'll see it now. 3rd down and 9. With it, firing, Bruce off his fingertips, incomplete. 4th down here for Grand Forks Central. Looking for Bruce right at about the 25-yard line. You've seen the quick slant by Bruce. We've seen him go up and then out. We've seen the screen pass, one that hit for 30 yards, one that was caught, then a fumble by Fisher. So if you're Grand Forks Central, where do you go here? Not quite 4th in the ball game yet, but it has that feeling, and we'll get a reset of the play clock here to make it 4th down and 9 again for the Knights. So Grand Forks Central hustling to the line. One wide receiver near sideline, pistol formation here. This will be Ledegi. Ledegi steps up. Ledegi gets the 30. Ledegi with real estate in front of him. Has the first down and some. And Ledegi stretches his way to the 20 for the first down. A broken play that goes 13 yards. Ledegi, first down, Knights. Well, the old adage, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Ledegi on that play, able to weave through the interior of the Squirrels and get the first down and also step out of bounds. 8:31 left to play. Knights knocking on the door, trying to make it a one-possession game. And how large is the missed field goal now on the fire drill from 35 yards out to finish the first half looming? If that was good, it'd be a one-possession game. Instead, still 2 possessions. As the Knights will send Bruce to the near side. Fisher in the backfield. They're looking towards Bruce. Near sideline, Ledege's going to step up, fire, throw. The question, is that intentional grounding or not? So we'll see what Mike Kraus wants to say here as he's talking it over with the officials to see if it got past the line and off the tackle box here for Ledege, and it looks like it'll be 2nd down and 10. So 2nd and 10, the Knights avoid a potential intentional grounding. And we'll see Grand Forks Central get with another chance here. One wide receiver left in its side. There goes Clausen. Central Cass with 4 down linemen. As we see Noah Lease check that Ledege. Ledege hands it off to Fisher. Fisher makes the spin at the 15. And then going out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. And we get some extracurriculars, and there's going to be a penalty. So we saw a handful of extracurriculars throughout that, I would say, on both teams. But where is this penalty coming against? If it's on Grand Forks Central, 15 yards after the play, and you're going to mark it past the 29-yard line about. If it's on Central Cass, it's half a distance to the goal and a 1st and goal opportunity for the Squirrels. As they'll talk it over. This has been chippy from the start tonight between these two teams. First half, we had, again, 3 penalties of 15 yards on taunting and on sportsmanlike conduct. This one will go against Grand Forks Central. So this will go against the Knights after the penalty. So you give the rush, and then they're 15 yards following that. 5 penalties now for 55 yards, and that's going to put the Knights in a real hole here back to the 28-yard line. As we'll see, 3rd down upcoming here. So 3rd down and 18. Instead of a 3rd down and 3, it's a 3rd and 18 upcoming here for Grand Forks Central. As the Knights right now Don't need everything back, but 10 yards would be awfully valuable here in a third. Central Cass trying to get off the field on this for the next play. It was a little bit of a delayed snap here. Ledege's going to get tackled in the backfield. The ball comes out. It's on the turf. Central Cass says they have it, but this will be a tackle, and this will be on the turf as a QB for Grand Forks Central was taken by Thummel on the play to the 35-yard line. It's a gain. It's a loss of 7. So Ledege with the loss on the play now brings up 4th down and 25. So 4th and 25. If that one was just off from the start on the snap, about half the Knights were going. The other half were not. Bruce was stay put on the near sideline. So for Grand Forks Central, got to throw something up in the field as we have a timeout. Is looking to see this one here as Central Cass was having a player that came off the field, so they're going to re-put the play clock here to 25. And we're back at it here. So 4th and 25. Grand Forks Central twins to the left-handed side. Ledege with Fisher in the backfield. Squirrels rush 3. Ledege steps up, gets hit. The ball's on the turf. It's picked up by the Knights, and Grand Forks Central will handle it. This will go Eli Fisher, and Fisher gets to about the 28-yard line. They get 8 yards, but Central Cass with Domeyer able to come in there defensively, and even on a 3-man rush, the Squirrels got home, and it's a turnover on downs. Central Cass with their 7th possession upcoming here with 7:24 left to play in the 4th quarter. They will handle it at the 27-yard line here for the Squirrels. And Central Cass with that turnover on downs, now all of a sudden you start looking, can you get 1 or 2 first downs in consecutive order? Bare minimum, get to midfield, take 3 minutes or so off the clock. Obviously the Squirrels want to punch one in and put this game to rest here. Up by 10. Trips the near side, one to the right. Crochet and Kegley in the backfield. Grand Forks Central been bringing a little more pressure here in the second half defensively. They're going to blitz yet again with 5. It's a quick screen that'll go to the near sideline. Caught on the way by Holland, and Holland gets to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 3. As we have an injury on the field here for Grand Forks Central. We'll break as well. 7th catch for Holland, now for 42 yards. You're on yourlivevent.com.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
So coming out here for Grand Forks Central Knights, going to be Brooklyn Bruce for at least one play, but he came up under his own pressure. 2nd and 7 with 7:20 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Chase Miller with Christian Bowen with you here on yourlivevent.com. Make sure you stay tuned with us a little bit later on. We'll get to our post-game show. Final numbers, stats, we'll hear from the victorious team, that and more. But what does this 7-12 have in store for us in a game that is now 2 hours old here in Castleton? Trips to the right-handed side, and as we said, the Knights have been bringing some pressure, particularly from the linebacker spot, either the outside or a middle linebacker coming in. They're trying to get 4 or 5 guys to go after Kegley here. As the handoff will make its way, that'll go to Crochet, and the Knights again bring the pressure. They get home. That'll be to the 29. That's going to be a loss of 1. So Grand Forks Central with Sherrick able to come in and make the play defensively. It's a loss of 1 to Crochet. Crochet 20 carries now for 87 yards and 3 touchdowns. So 3rd down now for the Squirrels. The Knights kind of feel like you're living on borrowed time if you're Grand Forks Central. You've had your chances, just can't get it to a 1-score game. And if you're Central Cass, that borrowed time sometimes comes back and bites you if you can't get the first and get a sustained drive here for the Squirrels. In the gun, play action. Kegley going down the field, incomplete. as they were looking for Olsen up the seam. Then there's a flag that comes out late. And this has been a couple times tonight. As you see, Wunderlich hit the turf. Also with Grand Forks Central, Lucas Fisher were tangled at the end of the play. If it's an incompletion and on Central Cass, it's 4th down. If it's an incompletion on Grand Forks Central, all of a sudden the Squirrels will see it here, and it looks like Mike Krause is talking over with Jake Schauer. What would you like to do here on the penalty? If you like to decline it, get it to 4th down, or keep it and take the 3rd down and some yardage here. So Coach Schauer going to make a decision, and we'll see what Mike Krause comes up with this one. So it's going to be 15 yards of field position, and it's still going to be 3rd down on the play. So Central Cass, 4 penalties now for 55 yards. Well, for Grand Forks Central, 5 penalties for 55 yards for the Knights. 5th penalty of 15 yards here between these two teams. So now it's 2nd down and near the country mile here from the Squirrels. As I think Coach Schauer's saying it should be 4th down, right? Because it was after the play to make it 4th down upcoming. But nope, they're going to keep it at 3rd, saying that was during the play, not after. So it'll be 3rd down upcoming here for Grand Forks Central's defense. Trips to near sideline. As we'll see it here for Central Cass. Cagley hands this one off to Cruchet. Cruchet spins his way. Knights were there trying to strip it. Able to get past the 15 to about the 17. And again, a couple more flags come out. As we said, it's been chippy from the start. These two teams understand what's at stake here, right? For Grand Forks Central, if you win out, you're able to host a playoff game at Cushman. If you're Central Cass, you win out, you get the #1 seed, and you put all the marbles next week in Kindred for a winner-take-all regular season championship in the first year, mind you, for both Central Cass and Kindred. Unsportsmanlike conduct will be on Grand Forks Central, so you get a couple of yards on the play. So now 21 for 89 here for Cruchet. The unsportsmanlike, 6 penalties here for 70 yards. And they'll walk it off, and you start looking at where the football is going to be after the run. This will be at the 32-yard line. And we'll handle it here now for Central Cass. So they're coming out here. It's going to be 4th down upcoming for Central Cass. So 4th down here again after the play was over. So 4th down here for Central Cass. We've seen the Squirrels go for it throughout the course of the season, even at this point in their field. And we've also seen them come out and punt with Cruchet once or twice. Clock rolling here at 14 seconds on the play clock, the same on the game clock with 5:40 left here in the 4th quarter. This will be a direct snap. Cruchet left-footed kick. No one back defensively. Nice kick by Cruchet. Takes a squirrel bounce inside the 20, into the 15, and look at that ball roll all the way to the 13-yard line. What a punt by Cruchet, and it takes a nice bounce as well on that one. 38-48. Make that a 56-yard punt by Cruchet to flip the field.
56-yard punt by Cruchet.
As for the Grand Forks Central Knights, though, you still got life with 5:26 left to play. You need some big-time opportunities. You need chunk plays here. So if you're Central Cass, the old proverbial, try to keep everything in front of you as best as you can moving forward and take some time. Time the ally of Central Cass, but not for the Knights here. Grand Forks Central in just this second half alone is pitching a shutout, but they gave up all 23 points, 7 in the first, 16 in the second. The Knights with 7 points in the second quarter and 6 in the third. We see it here in a pistol formation. We've seen Lease and Ledegy kind of separating time here for Grand Forks Central. It's Lease handoff. This one will go to Paralis. Paralis gets the 15. Paralis to about the 16-yard line, and he's still moving here to the 16. It's a gain of 4. Paralis, 4, make that 5 carries now for 27 yards. And now we'll see another timeout here for an injured player, this for Central Cass. And Aiden Thummel. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more after this here in Castleton.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal, it's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
On your out-of-town scoreboard here tonight, Northern Cass leads Valley City 24-13 with 6 minutes left to play in that one. Northern Cass looking to make the postseason with the win against the Highlanders in 1A football. Good one here as well in Castleton, 23-13. After coming off the field, here is Aiden Thummel. But the Knights get 4 yards on the play. If you're Grand Forks Central, it's easy. You got to score before there's zeros on the scoreboard to give yourself a chance at an onside kick bare minimum here and a shot play down the field for a Hail Mary. That's what Grand Forks Central needs. Central Cass looking for a stop. It's an end around on the play. This one goes to Clausen. Clausen's going to get wrapped up at the 20-yard line. Good job staying home defensively here for Central Cass. It goes for about 3 yards, and that's it. Cruchet stayed home. Clausen able to get a couple of yards, but that was it. As Grand Forks Central will have to work quickly here after if they can get this first down attempt. Then it's got to be quick. For Central Cass, this is exactly what you want. You'll give up 3, you'll give up 4, tackle inbounds, let the clock continue to tick, 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 tick. Grand Forks Central, one wide receiver split on either side, yet again with Bruce and alongside Clausen. That's been about the same throughout here in the second half. In the pistol formation, this one goes to Paralis. Paralis gets the first down to the 25-30, and he's taken down here by Cotton on the play. So to the 31, it's a gain of 11 here for Paralis. And Paralis was close to breaking that one for a little bit more than 11 yards. As coming out of the game, here will be Blaze Cotton as the helmet came off, so he will have to come out. Central Cass will make the sub and brings up a 1st and 10. The Knights quickly get to line here with a wide receiver left-handed side. If you're just joining us, Central Cass is led throughout, and they're 4 minutes away from trying to put a bow here on senior night. While the Knights still fighting here. Flay comes on the play. Ledegee throws it down the field to Thompson with the catch. Thompson to the 45, but depending on the flag on the near sideline here, and this could be the old illegal shift on the play. We'll see right now. It's a gain of nearly 25 yards. So trying to see what the actual penalty is as we get a officials timeout here. Or is it it's on Central Cass. So this one will go on Central Cass for a sideline warning. So 18, and you get 22 yards on the pitch and catch. This one goes to Thompson. 6 receptions now for 69 yards on the play. After that reception, and on the way for Grand Forks Central, Ledegee able to get those yards as well. Now with over 100 yards passing on the night, 120 here for Ledegee. The Knights need a field goal and a touchdown with a PAT or flip it. Regardless, they need 2 scores. Starting to drive right now, ball at the 46 of Castleton. Under 4 minutes to play here in the 4th. Ledegee with time, looking, firing, going down the field. 2 squirrels are in coverage. That'll be incomplete as looking for Bruce at the 15-yard line. And Bruce has kind of been the man. Him and Thompson have caught all but 3 receptions here tonight for Grand Forks Central. They have combined for 13 receptions on the evening. And on those 13 receptions, they have tallied up 154 yards of offense with a touchdown as well. Between Thompson and Mr. Bruce here tonight for the Knights. As the Squirrels of Parker Wixell will check in. Coming out will be Gavin Tope. 2nd down and 10 for the Knights. It's 4-down territory throughout here for Central. Clean snap, Ledegy with some time, setting up a screen. That'll go to Fisher. Fisher gets the 40 and down at about the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 7. 2 catches for 40 yards here. Brings up a 3rd down on the way. So 3rd down and 4 here for the Knights. They got a couple, but again, if you're Central Cass keeping everything in front of you, this started at 5:26 here in the 4th quarter at the Knights' own 12-yard line. 3rd down upcoming. They put 4 out in the pattern. Play comes out. This is nearly picked. Mason Olson had his hands on it. Got in front of Thompson. This could be an illegal shift here on Grand Forks Central potentially. Again, you had part of the line staying put, the other one's going before the snap, and it is an illegal shift here on Grand Forks Central. So does Tommy Butler want 5 yards to make it 3rd and 9, or take the incompletion and make it 4th and 4? It looks like they're going to say take it back and make it 3rd and 9. Grand Forks Central, their 7th penalty now for 75 yards. So 3rd down and 9, push them back a little bit with 2:57 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Squirrels, 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from picking up their 6th win of the season, but more importantly, picking up a region victory to try to battle the Kindred Vikings next Friday for a winner-take-all showdown in Region 2A East football. For Grand Forks Central, they need 9. Knights get set. Ledegy in the flat. This one's going to be a shoestring tackle to the 41-yard line. Grand Forks Central with Murphy able to get a couple of yards for 4 yards on the play. Cotton with that one, and we'll get a timeout here, as this will be with Grand Forks Central. Timeout on the floor after the completion on the way to Murphy. This timeout brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual. At Cass County Mutual, to find agents near you, go to CassCountyMutual.com. Back with 4th down when we return.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
4th down and the ball game upcoming here for Grand Forks Central. They need 5 yards on the play. They will need to get to the Central Cass 36-yard line. Timeout again brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual. So for the Knights, where will they go and what will they draw up here? Fisher in the backfield. You got one wide receiver to the left. That's Bruce. A bunch then near sideline. Ledegy with time looking for Bruce on the out pattern. Bruce comes back. Does he catch it or bobbles it? And they're going to say it's a catch at the 31-yard line for a gain of 10. It was short. He came back, make the diving attempt there for Bruce. 8 catches now for 95 yards. As they keep it alive here for Grand Forks Central. Quickly, they go out again to Bruce, and Bruce will step out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a pitch and catch of 6. 147 yards now for Ledegy. Well, Bruce continues to climb that stat column here. 9 catches for 101 yards receiving here tonight for the Knights, and a touchdown. 2nd down and 4. Going out of bounds again, stops the clock with 2:33. Grand Forks Central with just 1 timeout remaining here in the ball game. Ledegy screen, Fisher. That one gets stuck by Blaze Cotton. Cotton read it, and that's going to be a loss of 3. It's going to have been a boom or bust kind of a play here tonight for the Knights. That screen play makes it 3rd down upcoming. 3rd down and 7 in the gun. Ledegy fires, throws, finds it. Thompson at the 25-yard line, and a tackle on the way by Cruchet inbounds. It's a gain of 3. Thompson will see it here. 7 catches for 72 yards, and Grand Forks Central is going to burn their final timeout here in regulation. 2:03 left to play here in the 4th quarter. We're back with another 4th down when we return.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
High school football here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com. Thank you very much to our timeout sponsors here of both Cass County Mutual and Tope Insurance throughout the regular season here. So another fourth down opportunity here for Grand Forks Central. They found a way to convert and stay alive. And as we said just about a minute ago on a fourth down, it's fourth in the ball game, and it's fourth in the ball game one more time. Knights out of timeouts. Central Cass fans on their feet. After the timeout here, the Knights need the Squirrels about 16 for the first. Looking, pumping with it on the boundary. This one is caught but short of the line to gain, as that one will go to Clausen, but it's a turnover on downs. No flags on the play. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's a turnover on downs. Clausen with 11 yards, and with under the 2-minute warning, all that you have to do now if you're Central Cass, you can run the football and milk this game away. And what this does going forward now is going to be this. Central Cass can still finish as the 1 seed, or they could move all the way down a little bit as well to 2nd and 3rd, depending on what happens with the Cushman Classic next week in Grand Forks. So with the win here for the Squirrels, they'll be 3-1. Grand Forks Central and Red River are both 2-2, but Central Cass and Kindred control their own destiny to be the number 1 seed, as Kegley will take a knee. And again, with no timeouts, you're just going to take a look at the clock, take a look when you can snap it, take a knee or two if you're Kegley, and put this game to bed tonight. And the Squirrels and the Vikings put another one in the chapter of that rivalry upcoming a week from tonight. We'll have that for you on YourLiveEvent.com at 7 o'clock in Kindred. In the first year of 2A football in the East region, Kindred and Central Cass will play for a region title and the number 1 seed in the East. While for Grand Forks Central, you have a rivalry game with Grand Forks Red River, and depending on that outcome will determine your 2, 3, and 4 as well. If Central Cass can pick up the win, Central Cass would be the 1, Kindred would be the 2. If Kindred beats Central Cass next week, Kindred is the 1. Then barring the winner of Red River and Grand Forks Central would determine the 2. If it's Central Cass then with a loss next week. If the Squirrels lose to the Vikings, but Grand Forks Central beats Red River, Central Cass would still be a 2 seed. If Red River wins and Central Cass loses, then all of a sudden Red River ends up being the 2, Central Cass the 3, Grand Forks Central would be the 4. As another knee here by Kegley, and that is going to do it on senior night. The Central Cass Squirrels come away with a 23-13 victory here tonight in Castleton. The Squirrels now improved to 6-2 on the season, and that's where Grand Forks Central falls to 6-2 on the season as well. The difference the first half, 3 possessions for each team. The Squirrels with 3 touchdowns on all 3 possessions, while for Grand Forks Central, a punt, a touchdown, and a missed field goal in that particular first half of football. We'll take a quick break, and we come back on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. We'll take a look at the final stats, the final numbers, that and more. But again, one more time, a chance here for Central Cass to be the number 1 seed. Grand Forks Central, they still have a chance moving forward here to try to find themselves with even a 2-2 record to try to be in that 3-seed contention. If Central, Cass, Grand Forks Central, and Red River all finish with the same region record, which that goes out the door now regardless, because Red River Central is going to pick up their 3rd loss upcoming. So Central Cass and Kindred playing for the region title next week. In Kindred, Grand Forks Central, the highest they can be is the 3. Red River looking to get a win and get in with the 4. South still alive as well, still a lot to play for next week. for the regular season. Back with our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game report around the corner. Squirrels victorious on senior night here on your LiveVent.com.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop insurance.
Maybe toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or taupe insurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's taupe.
Oh, if it's taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartments. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
Grand Forks Central pitches the shutout in the second half, but again, it was the first 3 possessions of the game that was the difference maker here on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show. Final numbers go like this. The Central Cass Squirrels in this particular contest, they would finish with 263 yards of total offense, 105 yards on the ground, and they had 160 yards on the ground and 105 yards through the air. Easton Holland, 7 receptions for 42 yards here tonight. Kegley was very efficient in the game, just 3 incompletions. He goes 18 of 21 for 105. Crochet with the hat trick, 21 carries for 85 yards and 3 touchdowns here in this contest. While for the Grand Forks Central Knights, you had Fisher with 18 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown here for Grand Forks Central. Passing through the air was Ledegy for 149 yards. Bruce with 9 receptions for 101 yards here as well. On our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, we'll hear from a couple of seniors on senior night as the Squirrels now will play the Vikings a week from tonight for a region title here on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show on your LiveVent.com.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at PurpleWave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
Hi, we're Tommy's Express. Scan the QR code for a fast pass to a free month of washing. Our modern car wash offers a bright, open environment and a low-stress conveyor belt entry. Our signature scent, ceramic body wax, spot-free rinse, and heated blowers give you the best shine in town. Check out the wash for yourself. Washing your car is easy, fast, and fun. Visit Tommy's Express today.
As we come back here on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, join us here from the Central Cass Squirrels on senior night. Colton Crochet again with the hat trick and 3 rushing touchdowns as well as Central Cass improves to 6-2 on the season. Colton, for you, just what does a win on senior night mean? You know, last regular season home game here is Central Cass Squirrel and a really gutty performance here against the Knights.
It feels so good. I mean, you really can't put that into words.
winning on senior night. I mean, it's possibly your last game on this field, and it just feels good.
You know, there was 4th downs in the first quarter and the first half that were working for you. It was a 4th and 1. You got in the end zone, you know, in that first quarter from 12 yards out. Another 4th down. Here comes Olsen on the reverse. Almost gets it in the end zone. What was working and what was being efficient on 4th downs in the first half?
I got to give it up to the line. I mean, our line is so dominant up front. They can get a push on any play when we need it. So I give it to the line. That's what was working for us.
This particular game defensively to hold Grand Forks Central again to just 13 points, and they had to earn it every time they had a chance to bring it back within one. You made a stand. What was working defensively here for 4 quarters?
Just staying, doing what we were told to do by our coaches. I mean, they give us a good game plan every week. If we listen, usually turns out good.
Talk about the guys up front. You mentioned them moving some lanes, but we saw some holes early in that second quarter. What's it like running behind a Wiersma, running behind a Cooney, running behind those guys here throughout the course of the season?
It's amazing. I mean, some guys don't ever get that, and to have that, it's awesome to have those big guys and knowing what they're doing and getting a 2-3 yard push before I even get touched is always amazing.
Colton, last question that I'll ask this. Kindred Central Cass in any sport is always fun, but moving up a level, playing for a region championship, what's that going to be like from your perspective once you get to kickoff here next week at 7 o'clock?
I mean, just same mentality as this is just another team we're playing. I mean, obviously the stakes are high. I mean, it's a big game. It's been a rivalry forever, but you just can't get in your head, can't get chippy, and just got to play hard.
Colton, we'll let you go rest up. Best of luck, and we'll see you next week in Kindred.
All right, thank you.
That again, Colton Crochet joined us here. When we come back, we'll hear from another senior, Mason Olsen, around the corner.
Catch all the action of the fall postseason for Minnesota and North Dakota high school football and volleyball on yourliveevent.com.
Going down the field, it's picked off here from Kindred. Tanning Johnson to the 30, to the 25. Johnson, could he go? Yes, sir! A 45-yard pick six for
Takes it up, played high in the air by Horkin. Here's risky left side off of a touch. Kept alive Thornton. Now played high. Angle, Severson, smash! Count, good!
Check out the postseason schedule on yourliveevent.com.
Join us now, Mason Olsen, as we talked about on that reverse for 45 yards, a couple of catches, over 20 yards tonight on senior night for another senior here for Central Cass. Mason, let's talk about the emotions. As a senior, this is the last game. That's all that you're guaranteed. One more home game here. We'll see what the playoffs kind of, lay out here a week from tonight. But what's it like on senior night to go away with a W here in the regular season?
I mean, it's awesome. There's so many emotions going into this game, thinking we gotta win senior night. I played 4 years of football, gotta win this game. Send me away if we don't be able to play here next week or 2 weeks from now.
Let's talk about that 45-yard reversal play. You made a man miss in the backfield, then you had the boundary. When that play got called, what's kind of going through your mind in that situation early in the ball game?
I mean, I was thinking, get the first down. If I get any more yards extra, it's just another extra yards for me, really. Just getting my team in a good position to score.
What does Colton Crochet just kind of mean to this year's team, especially in terms of his ability to get north to south, get some yards, and we saw it here tonight with those 3 touchdowns?
I mean, he's awesome. Getting me blocking for him is just amazing. He's able to read me on the plays, and he's just getting downhill and getting some yards. That's what we play by.
Another guy, Grady Mueller, was flying there. Obviously, the guys up front with Domeyer, Wiersma, Rohr, and Quam defensively as well. But let's talk about Grady Mueller. When he can, stick his nose in an A-gap or set the edge, just what does he do defensively at that linebacker spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's come along a long way since the beginning of the season. He's gotten so much better and just sticking his head in there, and he's just awesome. Amazing linebacker to have on the team. Even Aiden Thummel, too. He does the same thing.
Last thing, Mason, regardless of who you are playing next week, we understand it's Kindred. We understand it's a region championship. We understand it's a 1 seed. Biggest thing, though, that you want to take from this game into that game is what is to get ready for a matchup with the Vikings.
I mean, they're going to be a tough team. We just got to keep playing hard and just never give up. I guarantee you they're gonna have to score, but we're going to have to keep bouncing back and hopefully come out with the dub on next Friday.
Without question. Mason, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you a week from tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll continue with more after this on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show.
Stop Head on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
As we come back here on the postgame show, your final again, the Grand Forks Central Knights fall here tonight at the hands of the Central Cass Squirrels by a final of 23-13 as Central Cass again picks up the win here this evening. As we continue, let's get to our Enbridge Energy Players of the Game, and this one might just be more so of a team award a little bit here, as picking up the way offensively to start the game, but also what they were able to do to finish the game off defensively as well. Give credit to the guys up front, Hunter Rohr, Evan Wiersma, Hunter Domeyer, Trevin Quam defensively. Then offensively, those guys with Aiden Wunderlich, Jennings Cooney, and Ben Nelson opening up holes early. The offensive and defensive lines got after it respectively here this evening. And Central Cass with a couple of those guys up front made it difficult for Grand Forks Central to really get in a really decent rhythm, particularly rushing the football here tonight. But at the end of the day, the line play of Central Cass is our Enbridge Energy Players of the Game. Our Agassiz Precision Egg play the contest, fourth down. They got a fourth down for a 12-yard rushing score. They had a fourth down on a reversal for 45 yards, a fourth down to continue a drive in the first half of play as well. The fourth down's what was the difference, and also the two-point conversions. You make both two-point conversions, all of a sudden it is a one-score, now becomes a two-score game. If they miss both two-point conversions, all of a sudden Grand Forks Central at the end just needs to put it in the end zone, put a PAT up, and we might still be playing overtime football. But instead, the two-point conversions and the fourth downs, when you need it, for head coach Tommy Butler and the Squirrels, they picked up the win with those particular plays. Brought to you in part by Agassiz. Agassiz Precision Egg, your local precision planting dealer. For more information, go online to Agassiz Precision Egg website, that is planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com. Central Cass 6-2 on the season. Grand Forks Central 6-2 on the season as well. So one more time, here's what's at stake next week in 2A football. If Fargo South beats Wahpeton and Central beats Red River is eliminated. Fargo South would end up being the 4 seed. Grand Forks Central then would end up being the 3 seed, and the winner of Kindred Central Cass the 1, the loser the 2. If Grand Forks Red River beats Grand Forks Central, South is officially eliminated. And if Red River can win and Kindred beats Central Cass, Red River would be the 2, Kindred would be the 1, Central Cass would be the 3, and Grand Forks Central then would be the 4 in that scenario. If Central Cass beats Kindred, Squirrels are 1, Kindred is 2, then you would have Central and Red River play for 3. And then, again, if Red River loses and South wins, they would end up being eliminated. South would be the 4. So you can still fall to number 1. You can still bounce to number 3, move up to 2, or bounce to number 4 potentially here for the 5 teams that are still in the race. While in 2A, Minot North officially clinched. They are in, again, for Minot North as the 1 seed. Devils Lake, Dickinson, Bismarck, St. Mary's, and Watford City are all tied in region play with the same record. 4 teams tied for second going into the final week. And then in 1A football here tonight with some games that have gone a final here, Hillsborough Central Valley with a dominating win over Mayport CG 46-8. Northern Cass gets by Valley City 24-13. And then you also had with the win EEK over Oaks 44-23. So Hillsborough, Central Valley, Northern Cass, and Lisbon all finished with the same region record, which means EEK's the 1, Hillsborough Central Valley's the 2, Lisbon's the 3, and Northern Cass is the 4. So Northern Cass makes the playoffs for the first time since 2019. The Jags are in the postseason, and they will go up to Langdon. Well, on the opposite side, Lisbon will go to Park River. Hillsborough Central Valley will host a game, as they will against Thompson, and then Grafton will go to Ellendale Edgeley Cullum. That, again, is 1A football. 9-man in 1A football starts next Saturday, while 2A and 3A will wrap up the regular season next week before Halloween starts the quarterfinals. AAA football tonight, Davies wins the 3A East Region regular season title with a 16-6 win over Horace. Bismarck all over Williston 77-6, and West Fargo over Fargo North here as well tonight, 38-8 on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. Again, the Grand Forks Central Knights and the Central Cass Squirrels, a good one here on this Friday, but Grand Forks Central now looking to see if they can pick up a win against Red River, and if they can somehow pick up a win against Grand Forks Red River, give themselves at least the 3 seed moving forward, even with the loss for Central Cass to Kindred again. With the game in hand against Grand Forks Central, they would then be the 2 if that is the case. Regardless, still a lot of different scenarios to go to the final week of football here in North Dakota. On behalf of Mr. Christian Bowen, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning in to our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show report here tonight. Love your ride and locally owned Tommy's Express Car Wash. Sign up in the app for your free month of unlimited washing with 2 locations in Fargo and 2 in Moorhead. Tommy's Express has the tools and the expertise to keep your car clean inside and out. More high school coverage coming up next week. Volleyball, football, and the North Dakota State cross country preview show as well, as that will hit your live event around Wednesday or so. Colton Cruchet with 3 rushing touchdowns here tonight. He is the offensive playmaker again for the Central Cass Squirrels. Squirrels win it on senior night. Winner take all a week from tonight in Kindred. Looking forward to that one. I'll be on the call with Brady Siebels here in Kindred. Until on Monday for more high school sports, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning in, and join us again next week for more high school sports on yourliveevent.com. Have a great rest of your weekend.